Do you ever do real work? Or you just like playing on your phone?
It's funny. Yeah, no. I always play on my phone. That's what I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that the notification to tell you stop playing on your phone?
Yes. No, they actually have to go back to another app.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's up, Ada? Arturo! I can't even do his voice right now. My voice is so stressed, man.
Kidding, right? It's like insane.
Oh, it's just killing me.
I'm so tired.
I miss you too, Arturo. I was actually just thinking about you.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
You're lying.
No, I was. I totally was not lying. I don't know why. It's just, it popped in my head. Finally back to work. Oh no, we've been back to work, man. Watching TikTok.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta start dancing.
What's up, Flynn? Hey guys, what's happening? Greetings from Brazil.
What's up?
You're still Justine to me.
What's up?
Adam, he goes, you're still Justine to me.
That is correct.
Is that the voice of the trusted tech I hear? Yes, it is.
It's the voice. I don't know if
I don't know if it's
him.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, guys.
By the way, yes, we went to Knowledgefest, Las Vegas, and Dean bring home the Trusted Tag 2023. Exactly.
I think you did better at the excitement level than I did. I was about ready to pass out.
Oh, dude, that was insane.
It was. Congratulations, DNF. Fernando looks sleepy. We both are very sleepy. What is the best DSP? That's too broad of a question, man. You've been the trusted tech as far as the trusted techs are concerned. Thank you, Ada. That means a lot, man.
Lies.
Yeah. Do you know where I can get unfinished RCA cables to make my own RCAs? It's funny.
Yes.
There's a bunch of places that sell them, obviously Amazon and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I know when Andy decided to build his RCAs when he was redoing the Mercedes last year, like he talked a lot about, I think he put up some links up on Aldi to get the tips as well as the cable. Mm-hmm. I gotta be honest with you, when it comes to RCAs, like DIY RCAs, I really don't have a great place to go. I know Nick at Resinex, Nick Apicilla has, in Resinex, I think it's resinex.com or something like that. I know he has some
RCAs.
DIY RCAs that he started to sell.
Yep.
Alibaba, there you go. That's where I know Andy got his. But yeah, I wish I had a better answer for that. We did get a chance to talk to a vendor this weekend that is toying around with the idea of bringing them back, since how that is becoming very popular. No, they are not twisted. They're a coaxial style RCA. Ooh, that reminds me. I gotta call it back and remember that piece we were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Cause I want him to make it. I want to sell another tool.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah. Sorry. Hey dudes, congratulations! Thank you so much. What's up, Lance?
What's up, Lance?
So no real fighting noises. What?
So the G is fine right now?
The G?
The G.
Oh, your G? Is that what we're calling it?
My G. Yes, it's working fine. So.
Dude, I tell you what, this has just been a nightmare, man. Like
oh my God!
So
believe me, everything.
So backing the train up to Thursday morning at 4:00 when I was at his house to pick him up. First off, he sets his alarm for 4 p.m. instead of
4 a.m.
And even though I told him I'd pick him up at 4 a.m., he should have set it for 3:30 a.m. T-harness for 2017 Acura MDX. I don't think you're going to find anything like that because it has to go at the amplifier. Metra just started re-releasing all of their T-harnesses, so check out metraonline.com. Go to the right top corner in the search bar and type in Acura or Honda amp bypass and see what you can come up with. There again, you're going to have to do some work. It's not going to be like, hey, this is what you need. You might be able to find some parts that you can get to fit.
Yes.
Missed out this weekend. Yeah, I know, man. It was a bummer. Next year for sure. I know. You just started a new business, Lance. So, you got to do what you got to do, man. It was fabulous. Little bit about Knowledgefest real quick. We'll probably talk about it some more on Saturday, but since you guys are here, we know we had planned on doing a ton of content. However, as soon as we got there, the situations immediately changed, and we had to pivot really quick in order to make do with the situation we got thrown at us. So some unexpected stuff happened, and that really took up all our time, and we weren't able to do all the stuff we had planned.
That's true.
It just happened. It wasn't anybody's fault. And so we're sorry we couldn't bring you the content that we wanted to. We tried our best. I know the show floor video we did, to me, sucked.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was terrible. We promised you we'd just give you a tour. And most of the time we do a tour, we talk to people, but we literally had like 20 minutes. And it was just terrible. And I apologize for that. And I really wanted to bring you guys more content. It just wasn't.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
We wanted.
Yeah, and I mean, we did film some cars. We got to film 2 cars, and I had to get up at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Actually, it was like I got up at 7. I let him sleep till 11, 7-Eleven. And thankfully, like Mike Rios, who is the man, Mike. He got up early and met me down there so we could get some At Least Carbs filmed. So we got Mike's new car, and then also we got the ability to film Casey's new car that the guys at Audio Systems did.
Yeah.
So, and you guys, the little bit of video we did you guys did get to see it. So hopefully they turned out good. Honestly, I don't know. It was one of those things where everything just went by so fast. Casey needs to drive that VW to Florida to here. Yeah, no, he won't. But yeah, no.
Well, everybody at the show was very impressed on the car.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny because even Andy put up a post about how, like, you know, the cars at Knowledgefest this year all sounded spectacular. There was, I mean, you had Doug's car, that Sage even goes. Sage goes, have you heard Doug's car? I feel. Basically, what he was saying is that Doug did such an amazing job on it. He was like, I got to go back to the drawing board because everything I did sucked. But yeah, you had Doug's, you had the Bronco from Sage. That there again, he's silly. It sounded fabulous. Andy's car was there, and then you had Casey's car, Mike's car. And those are just like the cars we know of. Like Alpine was there with their new DSP.
We didn't film the Museway.
No, I did get to sit in the Museway car, which in the morning they had me come over real quick and like, hey, sit in the car and tell me what you think. And because they were getting ready to do some adjustments to it, and I got to sit in the car and I was like, do this, do that. Way less exciting than it sounds. And Norton sat there and made some quick adjustments. I was like, immediately, it was great. I got out and then he adjusted it some more. So, like, everything sounded really good. All the feedback we were getting on cars, even though we didn't have time to go listen to most of them, was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yes.
So, all in all, the Knowledge Fest was pretty good. We'll talk about more of what happened and why we couldn't do what we wanted to Saturday, so we don't just give away everything. But yeah, I did get to hear the Museway car, and it did sound pretty awesome with the new Museway speakers in it. So it was a full Museway system. It was a Porsche Panamera.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Did Angel win?
That's not.
All right, so the Clean Wire Challenge hasn't happened yet. The Clean Wire Challenge is happening at Master Tech Expo. So what we have going on is we have 3 shows back to back to back, which can add to some confusion in this, and we know. And so next up, 1st of March, in like 3 short weeks, we're going to be going to Mesa, Arizona for Master Tech Expo. Now, Master Tech Expo is open to anyone that can afford to go. It's not industry specific. So, like, you don't even have to do car audio. They're going to have upholstery guys there. They're going to have welding guys there. They're going to have all this fun stuff going on. So, you know, if it's something you want to do, you just have to be able to buy a ticket, fly out there, and get the hotel room to do it. It's open to anybody. Last year we had a bunch of guys from the show that flew out there, took the classes, had a great time, and they were like, man, this is so cool. I'm glad, you know, I flew out here to meet you guys, which was blowing my mind because that's a lot of money to come out and just say hi. But yeah, so if you're interested in doing Master Tech Expo, head over to mastertechexpo.com, sign up, register, pay the bill, get your hotel, get your flight checked out. You got about 3 weeks to do it. So if you're kind of on the fence about it, get off the damn fence and go do it because it's going to be insane. Chip Foose will be there. You'll get to meet him. We're going to have a fireworks show. I mean, this is besides like the classes. The classes are almost seem like a move. Like, yeah, they're going to happen, and that's the reason for going. But everything else that's like everything outside of the classes is just so much food.
Basically, like you going to class.
It's almost like
and
going
then
on
the Reese's stars, and it's like it's going to go outside and have fun.
It's like going on a cruise with the coolest teachers in the world.
Oh, for sure.
You know, because the food is included, the events are included, the spectacular just
breakfast, lunch,
dinner. It's gonna be insanity. I'm looking forward to it. It's super cool. Then after that. Going to Canada to do the CMAs, which is their version of Knowledgefest. So that ought to be pretty spectacular.
They do.
I don't know what they have, but we'll talk more about that later on. But if you're in Canada and you're going to go to the CMAs, I look forward to seeing you there. I'll be with Automob, and we'll be doing a couple classes that I can't talk about yet, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be... and Ada is going to participate in the build-off.
Yeah, Ada's going to be in the build-off. John Brettel, the Mesh Man, will be in the build-off. Yeah. Dave Cos will be in the build-off. Angel will be in the wire-off.
Marty
Adams Check will be in the wire.
Yeah.
Phil Cantu will be in the wire. There's a ton. Yeah, it's a ton. It's a ton. What did they have in the Sony vehicles? They didn't seem to drop any new head units. No, there was nothing exciting going. Okay, there's nothing new in the Sony booth that I mean, there could have been, but like I said, we didn't get a chance to do as much around as we had wanted to because
but they have a
they had
redesigned
Jared's they had Jared's vehicle, and then they had an updated version of the original. What was that, Lexus?
I think
it was a little Lexus SUV that when they first showed us the ES system, because it still had some GS stuff in it because they hadn't introduced the full line. Jared updated the whole thing. I think you got to see that in the video. I remember walking around and showing it, but it was just those two vehicles. There were two Sony ES vehicles.
Yeah.
Abby currently, in the hospital waiting on birth of his first grandchild. Okay, so you had me kind of nervous there because I was like, I wonder if it's his daughter that we met. That would be neat. Well, cool. I thought he was in like the hospital. He was hurt. Is there going to be a Thursday with Hi-Fi? Yes, there is a Thursday with Hi-Fi.
Perfect.
I got up for like an hour and a half to watch the movie that I needed to. Fell asleep like 6 times watching it. So, yep. Why aren't you raving with Nano at the morale class? Because somebody had to be the DJ.
That's right.
I had 2 turntables and a microphone. See you there. Yeah, Fro is going to be there. We're going to lean hard into Fro on this one because we are going to be doing the Clean Wire Challenge. There again, we're going to be pressed for time and not being able to do the things we want to do while the show floor is happening. So if you guys caught us when we were there last time, I sent Fro and Fernando out to do the walk around. I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing that again this time. I'm going to be like, hey, why don't you go do that? And I'll just be solo in the Wire Challenge for a little bit while you guys get to see what's happening at MasterTech, because I don't want you guys to miss out on it. And I want to do a better job than we did at Knowledgefest just because we were so... The cool thing about Fro is we know he can do the job, and it'll be good to have him there. So he does a good replacement for me. So the two of them work well. March 5th through the 8th is MasterTech.
That is correct.
Thank you, Sue, for providing that. She knows this because she has increased. She said, I'm going to be free of Dean for a whole weekend. Hell yes.
Again.
He'll be gone. Hell yeah. I'm so excited. Woo. Installer fight. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Luckily, we don't get to do that. It'll be, so the MC for the build-off, the thing that Ada and all the guys are going to be in is Mark from Car Audio Fab. So it's like YouTube star inside and then us on the outside. So that'll be fun. So
be a lot of
it's going to be pretty exciting. Did you eat too much so that you'll have to jog an extra 400 miles? Ada needs to do a guest show. Geez, even I've done in a guest spot. Ada's been on the show before. Usually when we're at Disney, we try to do a little guest spot there. As far as eating goes, no, we definitely didn't eat too much. I think we ate 1 meal a day, and it was steak for you every time. You had some really amazing steak, bro. Man, we went to this crazy bougie ass place with our newfound friend.
Oh my gosh, dude!
It was next level. We had a great time.
That was the next level, and then you go like
above that. Yeah, it was insanity. We had a blast. So that was a lot of fun.
That was good. That was awesome.
All right, get back to work. Actually, you're right. We do need to get back to work. Let me just go through these. Nothing new for Sony. A few newly released head units, but nothing new. There you go.
So Ken with KS.
6x9 in a RAM 1500 factory radio. Do you set 6x9s to bypass or low pass? And do you use crossovers on the supply of the 3.5s? Good question. It's funny you should mention that because the truck we're working on right now that we're filming, we are putting a set of the 6902s. It's basically the same concept, but I will explain it to you nonetheless. If you have a base model Dodge Ram, which I'm thinking you do, meaning non-Alpine, non-Infinity, non-nothing. It's just base model. There's no branded system in it at all. There's no amplifier. You use the crossovers 100%. You do not set it to bypass. You set it to low pass on the 6x9, and you use the crossovers that it came with. Now, if it has a branded system in it, no, you're not going to be using the crossovers, and you're going to set it to bypass. What those two crossovers do is obviously they limit the performance of the 3.5, meaning they don't play 50 and 80 hertz. So it's a high pass filter, and the low pass filter on the 6x9 is a top, so that it does not play up to the 3.5. And then you'll be putting a crossover on the bottom of the 6x9 from either the radio or an amplifier or something like that. Or if you have no amplifier, it's just a factory radio, the radio will just play on down and it'll use its natural, the crossover points that are built into the factory radio. So that hopefully you get what I said there.
I'm tired.
Oh, so tired. It's a Lexus NX. So the Sony thing was a Lexus NX. Thank you. Congratulations, Trusted Tech you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to make fun of him too. I ate too much. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
No SQ tacos? No, but Taco did win
Rookie of
the Year.
Yeah.
So from Taco from Speaker Box, 5 Stars does the best builds. Yeah, thank you. I mean, we do okay. We do okay.
Before we leave, I just want to take Morel_America here because they actually bring us to Knowledgefest Las Vegas, and that was nice. That was awesome.
We did bring home some coasters that we're going to be giving away.
Yeah, like you guys.
Oh yeah, where's my lanyard?
I have no idea.
I gotta figure out where I put my lanyard. Oh, it's on my dresser. Yep.
Yeah.
Haley. So last night I had to pick up Haley, and she hands me her keys, and I thought she had the old Van Halen lanyard on there. And I was telling her, I said, yeah, I'll have to get you the new one. And she starts laughing. I'm like, why are you laughing? And she's like, did you? I said, I saw it, but I didn't realize. She'd gone into my suitcase and took one already, and then looked at my trophy and then put everything back so I wouldn't know. That's crazy. Miss your YouTube builds. Dude, seriously. Somebody made that comment, like, I guess you guys don't do... I mean, literally, go back on the channel. Like, other than last week, like, we did the van. And the van, was 2 episodes. And before that, there was more of the van. So, I mean...
We still it's stuff,
I mean, it's a pretty laid out how the channel goes. Monday is a replay of this. Tuesday is a replay of the Monday show. And then Wednesday and Thursday are typically build videos and or unboxings of some sort like that. That's it. It's not... you guys are crazy. She loves you. Oh, totally. That Foca amp rack flyby was so sweet. Yeah, that was fun. That was heavy. That was so heavy. Thank you, guys. Hey, listen, guys, we're going to get back to work. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya. Dude, why are you wearing your watch?
I'm waiting for a text.
Oh, okay.
Sebastian has my phone.
I told you I was going to go live. Mike!
Hey, I'm going to let you know. Okay, thank you, buddy.
Hey, I got you, bro.
What happened if you guys say fuck?
Yeah, it's not like you haven't done that before.
Never.
We definitely know that is not a sub box.
Totally is a sub box. What are you talking about?
Oh, this is 100% OSHA approved.
My hole for my Twitter.
That's your port? That's support.
That's for my tweeter.
It's for your tweeter?
Yeah.
No, he's not making a bike. You tell him, Mike.
What's that?
Mike.
Oh, dude, don't trust me with bikes. I have no idea.
Yeah, he'll cut his finger off. He's already done that. No, actually what he's doing is, so we got done about, I don't know, half hour ago, and since we've been gone, believe it or not, the Keebler Elves did not come and move our toolboxes into place over here where we need them to be. So, the first thing we needed to do was, if you guys recall, the wire rack and the wire bucket, this thing, sits here in this hole, and it's no longer going to be there. And what that means is that tote there, which used to hold stuff, is empty now because they got to move into these homes. And it used to sit here. And the wire rack is now here. Of course, the wire rack was too tall because most people don't realize that, like, if you look right here, see how this has a notch in it? That wasn't intended for the wire rack. What it was actually intended for is when I first got into this install bay, this is where the table saw was supposed to go. It was going to slide up underneath here, and I'd slide it out. I'd cut, all the wood that I needed, and I'd slide it back into place.
Mom's here.
How exciting. What I didn't think about is that when I would cut wood, or whatever I would cut, all the dust would go right into the door of the car I was working on. So I was like, bad idea. So that meant the table saw and everything ended up going over there into that side of the shop. So when it came time to build a wire rack, that all went into this area here. You're making room for a CNC. At some point we got to, but I don't know where that's going to go yet. We haven't figured that out. So wire rack could be taller. Now that we're moving it under here, this is standard 2x4, so I had to cut 1.25 inches off of it, something like that. So now it slides right into place and everything is sexy and it's hidden out of the way so we don't have to see it. This guy is actually going to get broken into recycle bins. So, and they're going to sit up front in what used to be the waiting room, which is no longer the waiting room. So I got to go to Home Depot and I'm going to get some totes. And that way, if we need scrap, it'll be divided instead of having to dig. This is a waste. This is like literally a waste of everything. So this is a waste. So this bucket is a waste.
Christian love this.
Christian is a putz. So sorry, Christian. I know you're shocked. But anyway, so this is going to go up front, and that'll be nice. Would you recommend the MTX Terminator 12 subs for a 2-seater hatchback? I'd recommend any form of 12-inch woofers for a 2-seater hatchback. 212s ported in that car is, in any hatchback, is like a lot of bass. So, man, it would be. So, does Stinger give you credit for used wire? Stinger doesn't even have wire half the time, let alone give you credit for this stuff.
Gonna buy me.
Yeah.
Gonna buy from me.
Yeah, so I wish, but no. But no, back to the Terminators. It's funny, we got the opportunity now because MTX is really starting to come back to these shows and
MTX?
Yeah. The dude that we've met now at SEMA, and then he was out in California, or I'm sorry, Vegas. Yeah. So yeah, who knows? He's a really nice dude. At some point, you never know. Might have some MTX on the show to talk about. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah. So the company itself hasn't gone away. They've actually been doing a lot of contracts for the government. Ooh.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, doing pro sound.
So
like airports and stuff. Why? Because of the government?
Because of the government.
Oh, jeez. You're sad. Evening, guys. Evening, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great evening. So, anyways, what was Fernando building? That's what I was getting to. Now that he's done with it, I'll show you what he's got going on here. So, he used to have this shelf that went all the way across, and when we got that Husky box over there, it came with a top box. We have since went and picked up the butcher board top for it that Lowe's sells, so that it'll match all of these other ones. So this guy is going to go there where that space is, but it came as a top box. As you see, I have a top box on mine. Then we have Fernando's box, and it only makes sense that he has like a baby version of my work area. So, oh yeah, I know. So now he has a top box up here, so he can have all his stuff that he needs to get access to right here at his fingertips, but he still wants to have his cool little shelf. So,
all right. So what is this?
It's a hussy.
What about now?
It's, I don't know, not any hussy. I don't know, got me. MTX Blue Thunder for the win. Yeah, oh no, for sure. I think we have one over here. You know, it's funny, at some point we had talked about we don't have an MTX amplifier on the wall, and then someone showed up with a Blue Thunder Pro 1502. I'm still deciding on whether or not I want to leave these here or not, because I don't know. I like them and I don't like them. This I got to figure out what to do with. My boys out in Orlando are coming up with a solution for this for me, which I'm really excited about because I don't want to see any of this shit. So I'll be happy to get rid of that. I don't know what we're gonna do here yet. These need to get filed away because that's done. And then we have to finally get to power up that TV, which we haven't had a chance to do yet. So I haven't seen the bay in a while. Cabinets look nice. Yes, I mean it's getting there. It's almost there. That's our last chunk, and then paint. So once we get that done with paint, then that'll be cool. And
what about the marble floors?
The marble floors. As soon as we get done, then we'll put in the marble floors. What's up, Fro? Oh, bad news, guys. So Hi-Fi canceled on us for tonight, so there's no show tonight.
What the?
I know. I'm so bummed. And then we also just got in while we were away, because this cabinet right here had no lighting underneath it, and it's like every other cabinet has lighting underneath it, which is, I have to say, the most awesome thing ever. But the 24-inch came in, so we have them now, so they can go in. The only problem is we got to figure out how to get wiring to them. Maybe some shag on the floor. Maybe up front, so I can just kind of like snuggle up and take a nap. Do I buy the MTX amp with it or the Rockford amp? Listen, I'm all about matchies. You know, I like stuff to match. I always have. I get it. Not everyone can be everything in the car audio industry, so if it makes sense, I like to do it. Why not?
Nothing makes sense.
It's car audio. Nothing makes it. Very valid point. But, you know, if you're looking at like a Prime R1 or R2 or what the heck they're called now, amplifier, then why not? You know, I would just go with the Rock or the MTX. I'm sorry, the MTX, because it only makes sense. It's not going to be, MTX amps match. There you go, do it. Do y'all have to clock out for lunch, or is it a 30-minute paid lunch? You know what's funny is, so here's the funny part. He just asked that question, and look who joined it right above him, Paul.
Yeah.
So, Paul, is it do we clock out for lunch? Oh, yeah. No, honestly, I don't think we ever really take a lunch. You know, the day starts and the day ends.
We have eat here while we're working.
Yeah, it's like it's just an opportunity thing. I have a lot of friends that like they clock out at 1 o'clock.
I don't think so.
I mean, Arturo, I got one friend. I got Fro's fan.
Not your friend.
No, Arturo's not my friend anymore. He's mad at me.
He's mad at you.
Yeah, Arturo's mad at me. He's got no love for me. He's like, screw that guy, Dean. He's a meanie. He was mean to me.
Without this, he's gonna just.
Yeah. Anyways, Fro said it the same thing. Dean, where to buy 5-star T-shirt? This one, no, but you can get the 5-star T-shirts at Teespring or T. I think it's just
Spring.
Or Spring. It's just called Spring.com. Or you can just go to DNFswag.com. That's the better place to go. Just type in DNFswag.com. I have been informed that they are running a little slow right now. So, not that I have any say in it whatsoever. They're just a company we go through, but apparently they're taking their time at the moment. So, make sure to give them some time if you're planning on order. They don't do really anything quick. Kind of sucks. What's going on, man? I can't even pronounce that. Crouton?
What?
It's all right.
That's the reason why I'm always in my phone, right?
Yeah, I know. Working lunch. Yeah, it's usually a working lunch. Every now and then, like, I know you guys have seen us, like, once in a blue moon, we'll have, like, the sushi place makes a really good chicken fried rice. And then we'll get, because it comes with lots of vegetables and stuff, so we'll get that. That's like a day that we know we have time. And we'll just kind of chill out and do that. So that's kind of cool. But most of the time, it's just work right through it. Jeff Smith coming back for DSP Talk 3. So Jeff moved from Florida back up to his hometown, which is no longer in Florida. And so, not saying we won't get him on because he's actually in town quite a bit, but we'd have to schedule that to make sure. So, I think what would probably be a good time is once audio control gets done with the beta on the software, and then we'll probably have it on, so we'll have more of a master conversation. So right now, the beta software is going really well as far as the updates that they're pushing. It was funny because Jeff and I were talking like on a Tuesday, and by that Friday, they had already fixed 90% of the things that we had talked about. So it's actually doing pretty well. If any of you guys are using the audio control stuff and you are running into problems, one, make sure that you have the latest version of the beta because they are changing it quite frequently. And also drop them an email if there's something that the new release of the beta hasn't fixed that you're interested, that might be of issue. Don't ask for more features. That's silly, but just ask, if something is not working the way as intended, then you can drop in an email and say, hey, this didn't work as I thought it should. And it may be supposed to work that way. I mean, that's one of the things I found when adjusting the frequency, how it worked wasn't how I thought it should work. And it was like, no, it works this way. And I was like, oh, all right, well, that works. So it's like, now that we know. And send all of your complaints that you have to Car Audio Chris at Instagram here. So send everything to Car Audio Chris. If you have any complaints at all about anything that Amp Global Audio Control does, just Car Audio Chris. At Car Audio Chris is a great place to start. He will he'll thumb through those and he'll get back to you immediately. He's a really great guy, and he's got nothing else better to do than to weed through all that and make sure everyone gets a good answer. Oh, yeah. Congrats again. How many messages you get? I mean, I got like a dozen messages when I was up on stage, which was quite hilarious because I was...
you froze, dude.
Of course I froze. It's funny that when you watch it, like if you go back and rewatch I really don't freeze that long. In my head, I froze for like 20 minutes. But
did you count it?
No, I didn't. In my head while I was up there, yeah, because there was like a million things. It was system crash.
Yeah.
But I think I put up a pretty good Facebook post about my thoughts on the whole thing. So I think that explains what was going on. It was actually, it was very emotional for me, which would cause my system to crash for sure. As Sue so eloquently pointed out, I'm not an overly emotional person.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's what I was like this, like, oh my god.
Fernando had one of the big boy cameras that day. I have a 2,000 watt system going into a 2021 Accord. Doesn't look like high output alternators are any option. Battery or battery bank, next option, best opinion. Yeah, I would. Honda is not the best idea to be putting a big amplified system in. Hondas in general don't really, their alternator doesn't really kick in most of the time until you're rolling down the road doing like 45 miles an hour. So a big enough secondary battery to hold some of that extra charge would be great. Also, some way to charge it like at nighttime would also be a really good idea. Some form of not a battery tender, but some form of a battery charger that you can maybe plug in depending on how you play it, once a week, twice a week, something like that. Because there again, it also depends how you play it. Like if you're driving to work in the morning and you have a really long commute and you're not headbanging or balls to the walling it at 7 o'clock in the morning, then that'll give it some time to replenish for the 5 o'clock drive home. But if you're just like 7 o'clock, man, that's my coffee, then you're going to need to plug it in and charge it a little bit. And make sure you get a battery that's big enough to do that. If you don't have or want to take up a lot of space, check into some of the lithium stuff because that is a little bit smaller. So that's pretty cool there. Who are the guys that we talked to? The battery guys that were with the excess power dudes?
I never talked to them.
You didn't talk to them? Yeah, I can't think of their names.
Next to us, but like...
Yeah, they have the big white truck that was at Kicker with their I can't think of their names. I apologize. But they had their little tiny battery thing, that battery cap lithium cell thing that was pretty cool. And I wanted to get one. I wanted to get one for your car.
The lithium?
It's a little tiny lithium battery that I thought it'd be cool to throw in the amp rack, the lab.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe they'll reach out. Considering I don't remember the names, it's not the greatest.
You guys not cool.
Yeah, we're totally not cool. Yellow top Optima or okay, do the other one. Not the excess power batteries. Yeah, no Optimus, excess power. Yeah, just do that one. Excess power for the win, 100% Bobby. Dean, what's the biggest size and depth speaker you can fit on a 2004 VW Golf? Actually, you could go pretty deep on the Golf.
You can go in regular size, yeah.
I think we've even fit the Kenwood 7-inch in those. We fit the 7-inch one time. It's the bracket that's the problem, which you have no problem with because you're just going to make a bracket anyways. But the factory speaker is actually pretty deep as far as the bracket goes. So almost any 6.5 will fit. You just got to make a deeper. You got to make a bracket, which you'll just whip one out of acrylic and call it a day like you always do. So you won't have any problems there. Chris is like, wow. No, make sure everything goes to at Chris. Yeah, at Cart. Yep. Can I set my mid bass to 60 hertz and my sub to 80? You can, but what would be the
problems?
Yeah, you can, but why? Why? Let the subwoofer do the job that it's supposed to do. I mean, yeah, you're gonna muddy the mid bass and ask it to do something that it's really not intended to do. Especially if a lot of power going to it, let it do its job. Keep in mind, you could try adjusting the crossover point. Maybe going to like a 12 dB crossover instead of a 24 dB crossover, because that will let more of the mid bass sound out. Okay, because that slope is what dictates how much sound and how loud it is past the crossover point. Because it's not like the sound just stops. It doesn't. It just gets less loud. So try maybe checking out your slope and see what that does for you as opposed to putting at 60 hertz. Might not always work too good. Plus you might blow the mid bass. Chris is an awesome guy and answers except when he's riding his motorcycle. Does Arturo owe him money?
Chris is an okay guy.
I don't know. I feel like Arturo owes him money. Congrats on the win, Dean. I hope you had a good scotch and cigar waiting for you.
What?
A good scotch and cigar.
I think that was his name. That was a Scott with a car waiting for you.
Yeah, there was Scott with a car waiting for me. Yeah, no. No, actually, we went back to the room. We packed up. We headed down to the bar. And we proceeded to stay there until it was time to get on our flight. So it was a really, really, really long night. The Metric guys did buy me a couple drinks, which was really cool. I don't drink, so they got off extremely cheap, and that I had like 2 or 3 ginger ales. So it was really awesome. Because at that point, my voice was pretty much shot from doing 3.5 hours of yelling on the show floor teaching our class.
That's awesome.
So it's still feeling like crap. So, like, if you got, like, I'm sorry there hasn't been videos this week. I'm going to try to edit one tonight because we were not doing the hi-fi show. But, like, I made the mistake of coming back and immediately going to the gym and, like, getting a good workout in. So, and that was probably the dumbest thing I could have done because last night when I got home, I was just, like, I was finished. And I passed out real early by my standards, so it was like 10:30, 11. I was out. And I was sitting in front of my computer because I had actually uploaded the video and I was getting ready to edit, and it was just like, and the girls were like, dude, just go to bed. I was like, all right, I'll quit, stop. Look, Chris and Arturo are having like a bromance. Was it just you and Fernando at Knowledgefest, or did the families attend too? It was just Fernando and I. However, if you guys saw, I put the links up in all of our medias so that you could watch. So Haley was watching, Haley and Sue were watching at home, and they did record, they did like a reaction video for me so that I could watch it later, and they were super excited. I will say that whoever was live doing the video switching sucked. Dude, it was terrible, Fernando. Like, really? Oh man, it was so bad. It was so bad. Like they kept like the slides, like with your name and up all way too long.
Put your face on it?
They did, but it was like the slide was up way too long. It just was done poorly. It kind of sucked. But you know, when the people were on, it was good. I guess if you could jump through person to person, you're probably okay. My 04 Civic is giving me electrical problems, probably alternator related. I mean, the really easy thing to do with a Civic, or any Honda for that matter, is take your digital multimeter and connect it to the cigarette lighter and just see what it's doing while you're driving. That's the best. Sue has owned many Hondas, and anytime there was an issue, that's what I would do. I'd literally just grab a 12 volt, plug it in the cigarette lighter, and I'd just drive around and kind of map what the problem was when it was doing it and why. And that's how we kind of figured out, like, Jesus, this thing never turns on. The alternator's shit. So, and then I went back to the dealer, and they were giving me crap. It's a stereo. And I was like, it's not stereo, dude. Look, come with me. Come with me. And they're like, oh, wow. And I was like, yeah, don't give me that crap. Oh, wow, now they're doing their bromance in Spanish. Way to go, Chris and Arturo. Y'all just need a moment to hug it out there in Texas.
So nobody can understand what they...
What Acura is horrible... Yes, Acura is horrible with electrical. Yeah. Cheers for all your help. Success. Installed my ILX 507 with steering controls and reverse camera. Hey, something we just found out today. If you have an ILX 507, 509, 511, make sure it's up to date. You can check it. It's 2.0.3. Yeah. Came out in June. More than likely, even if you bought your radio yesterday, it might not be up to date, but make sure it is up to date, 2.0.3, because it's a terrible radio without that update. Like, it's really bad. The latest update fixes everything, I think. We had to do one today. It takes about 20 minutes to do it, and we'll erase everything in the radio. So, like, if you've done a cool tune or anything like that, make sure you, like, take a picture of it, because it's going to go bye-bye when you're done, because it rewrites the total package, because it goes from 1 to 2, as opposed to just like an incremental update where it's like 1 point something. This is a 2.0 update, which is major, and it fixes a ton of stuff. So do yourself a favor, make sure it is up to date, so you don't end up pulling your hair out of your head like I do. Moving on. Hey. Any recommendations for 8-inch shallow sub running Exelon 5-channel? Yeah. Audio Mobile makes a really nice 8-inch subwoofer. The Kicker L7T, which is the shallow mount 8-inch subwoofer, is phenomenal. You can buy that preloaded in a box. It's really nice. You already have the amplifier, so that one's out. I mean, if you're trying to go shallow, now if you're just trying to go deep, obviously there's a plethora of those to choose from CT Sound, Sundowns, all those guys that like make high excursion 8-inch woofers that could work on that amplifier. Nando at the strip club. I mean, if strip club is stripping wires, then yeah, he's totally doing that. Let me move this way so you guys can kind of see him working there. He's breaking stuff. Is it true Audio Control coming out with 5,000 piece Epicenter Mexican edition? So that is actually true and false. True, yes, they're coming out with a Epicenter Mexico edition. It's a special edition, which means it's not a limited edition. The previous Epicenter, the black one that like we all had like a year ago, I have a couple of them here somewhere. That was a limited edition 5,000 piece. This is a special edition Mexico. Do you have a picture of that? On your
it's
phone?
on Facebook. I mean, everybody.
Everyone's posting on Facebook.
Yeah.
His phone. Well, Sebastian's not here. Where's your phone?
It's right here.
Well, pull it up, bro.
Let me see.
You got Jeff's post.
Where is it?
Jeff texted us yesterday.
No, because they have more stuff in there.
Well, I just want a picture.
I understand, but
What is there? What is there? Really? You can zoom in.
no.
Don't make it so hard. Why is it gotta be hard? Anyways, special edition means that they're gonna print 5,000 of them, and then if they sell all 5,000 of them, they can print 5,000 more. All right, so this is it here. So yeah. A couple of the cool things about it is that the lights, the LED lights, are also in the flag. So where it says Epicenter, those will match the, yeah. And I just did get a text today telling us that we should have one here shortly for Fernando to place in his car. So we'll do a full unboxing and play with it. It's a regular Epicenter. It's just got a really cool paint job. And if you're Mexican, it's going to be really awesome to have because you'll have your own Epicenter. If you're not Mexican, though, I don't know what the allure is. Just because it's different, I guess. I don't know. You party animal. What do you think of lithium banks? I know zero about lithium banks. I got nothing. I know Jeff has one underneath the hood of his car and he really likes it. You know, Hi-Fi talks about him all the time because, well, he builds batteries for a living. But my knowledge on lithium, I'm not going to pretend like I don't know shit. And so for me to comment on it would be, I don't know. I ask other people. That's the one, you know, I can't know everything. One day I will when it becomes like something I need to concentrate on, then I'll learn everything there is to know about it, but it hasn't happened yet. That's a party bad, but I watched. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Oh, it was pretty bad, but watched it to support you. Thank you, Bobby, and congratulations on becoming a grandfather.
Yeah.
Was that the daughter that was with us when we went to when we were in Cali? I didn't know. Am I jelly? No, I'm not jelly. I can get a hug from you anytime I want, man. And now they're trying to do some. Now Chris and Arturo are trying to do some reverse hate. You know, because we're picking on them. They're trying to throw it back at us. These guys are silly, bro. Like, crush them like grapes. Audio control DSP versus Alpine DSP. Okay, so if you would have asked me this question like a month ago, I'd have been like, all right, we really need to sit down and think about this, what we're trying to do, where it's going to go, how many channels you need. However, now with the beta firmware on it, and even in beta, I would do that any day over that. There again, you always have to figure out what it is you're trying to do, how hard it needs to be, but the audio control with the new software has really stepped up its game, and like it's a totally different DSP now. Like it is 100% totally different DSP, and it has moved out of that, oh, it's kind of cool, to damn. So no, I'm going with the audio control 100%, because even with beta, I know in a month or two it's not going to be beta anymore, and it'll be even better because we're already talking about some of the extra features we want to add, and they're trying to do that. So if they can get even one of my wish lists added in there, it's over, bro. It's over.
It's over?
It's over.
Really?
Installed the Blue audio control AC LGD in my 2021 F-150 and still having problems with the radio. So I installed the resistors, which solved the problem. Will the other version of the AC LGD work? So in a 2021 F-150, you have to use greens, not blues. So that's just that. The blues don't work. The blues you still have an issue with. It's all about the greens. So those are the ones that work. Oh, look, see, Chris and Arturo just making out. I need that Epicenter. Don't you, though? I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I obviously am not Mexican. He is. But I think it's the coolest thing ever. I think it looks so cool, man. The artwork they put on it is badass. So, am I gonna end up with one? Definitely. Just because it looks cool. And I'm a sucker for things that look cool. How good are Rockford T2 components 6.5s? We use a ton of them. I mean, it's our go-to. So, all right, there again. Let's qualify the customer asking the question. If you come in and you're like, hey, I want loudspeakers, I'm gonna be like, hey, no, because they suck. for 90% of our customers. It's not saying that they're terrible. No, nice Neo tweeter. Actually, Rockford makes some really nice loudspeakers. But if I'm only doing a tweeter in a mid-range and I'm not building a door panel, it's going to have like 3 louds, you know, some stuff. Then no, for basic install, they're really not the choice. But if you want that sound, that's when we look at the T2, because that tweeter is god-awful loud, but it gives you the benefit of actually having some mid-bass, which is what most people want, as opposed to just 300 and up. So when we're trying to build a loud system, like if you go back and watch any of the systems that we've done videos on and we talk about it, it's usually for somebody that's like, dude, I want my ears to bleed. I want my ears, but sound good. Not so you get the loudspeaker effect, but not the loud. So it's there again. It's not as loud as like 103 decibel, you know, super sensitive Neo tweeter. However, it's louder than a standard system. So that's when we use it. So do I like them? Yes. Do we sell a bunch of them? Of course. Is it for everybody? No. But what speaker is? Hey, Fernando.
Yeah.
What speaker would you like to have in your car? This is an ad, by the way.
Hi, guys. I know, and I actually, you know what? Now that you're talking about that, yes, I'm thinking to add in. I'm not a rear field guy, but now that I'm thinking that I don't have enough space, the carbon nanos actually fit right in the back of my car. Yes, the Morel carbon nanos, and they make a coaxial. So you can go and check right here in Morel_America, the carbon nano. They still call Integra?
Yes, they're still called Integra, because that means Integra means point source.
Point source. What is a point source?
A point source means that they share, the tweeter and the mid-range share the same plane.
Well, we're in the same point. So, there you go.
Something like that, anyways. It's basically a coaxial. Let's just call it that. But no,
yeah.
point
So
source.
anyway,
you get a wider just. Yeah.
MorelAmerica.com or here, Morel. Jesus, man.
It's MorelHiFi.com and it's Morel. And it's here. It's Morel America. I tell you what, man. He goes away for a week. Actually, goes and works for Morel for a week, and comes back and can't remember who he's talking to.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So bad. You know? So bad.
I was working by myself over there. I
What,
have a picture
of you working by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you're a pro. Thanks. Installing those T2 Rockfords on a customer's car, but didn't know they sound how they sounded. Make sure you read the instructions, because there are some crossovers like you got to set. You're going to use the tweeter inputs, not the mid-range inputs, because it's bi-amped, and the bi-amp off default tweeters are input. And then you want to make sure you get the on-axis, off-axis set up right, which they have a great diagram showing you how to do that inside the owner's manual, and we want you to read that, of course, because that's really cool. But yeah, sealed versus ported. The question that will never get an answer that everyone will accept. What happened to the Morel Virtus? And then, so those boxes. So the video I'm hoping to edit is that one tonight. So hopefully you guys will get to see that one tomorrow. If not, you'll get to see it Wednesday. The boxes, we sent those back to Morel, and those are the boxes we used in our training class this past Friday when we were out in Vegas. And so then those got boxed back up, and they're being sent back to Morel, which we may use them again at MasterTech. That's going to happen here very soon. If you guys are planning on going to MasterTech, jump on that shit right now. Get to work, guys, because like time is running out. I mean, we are 3 weeks away from MasterTech right now. And I can tell you right now, I've been talking with Brian almost every other day, and it's insane. It's insane what they got coming up. I mean, we know most of the stuff. Like, we know Chip Foose is going to be there. We know there's going to be fireworks. We know that the classes are insane. We know that there's a bus to take you from hotel to hotel, so you don't need to have a car. There's going to be food, so you don't have to pay for food. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all paid for. The value alone, before you even get to the education portion of it, is ridiculous. Competitions that are going to happen, the entertainment that you get to have, and also if you want to compete, you can compete in the not clean wire challenge, but you can compete in the LED challenge, the nighttime light off. Oh my gosh, it sounds like a commercial, and it probably is. I'm just not getting paid for it. That's right. Fernando was working the booth. I learned about the new BMW drivers. Yes, yeah. Morel has 2 new sets of BMW drivers. great and
They have
greater.
the whole set. Subwoofers.
Oh, all 3 pieces.
Yeah, all 3 pieces.
And they're one of the only manufacturers that make a BMW driver that you only have to buy one mid-bass, and they give you all the brackets in order to mount it into a BMW, so you don't have to worry about like what make, model, and year your BMW is.
Yeah.
All the brackets are in the box, so it's really cool. So Chris might be putting 12-inch subs in the rear deck. Does he think he's Jeff Smith? He's gonna do like a free air in the rear deck or something? He thinks he's Jeff Smith.
Going to do that?
That's what he says. He thinks he's Jeff Smith, man.
What kind of subs? Oh, I know what kind of subs.
He's probably gonna do some of those Stinger onlines.
No.
Oh, those.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So much for an NDA to you. Have you guys ever done a sub install in 03 Tundra access cab, aka extended cab, very limited space? Yeah, we've done it pretty much every Tundra on the road. There's plenty of boxes that are available for that truck at this point. If you're looking, so does it have the JBL system or not? I think is really, like, if you're looking for a manufacturer's box, it's like the thinnest box ever. That will fit back there. You may have to take that back panel off. That's going to be the Rockford. Rockford makes the P3T 12-inch enclosure. It's a wedge, and that's like the thinnest pre-made box. You see the car in 12-volt clean wire club with the 4 Moscone amps. Yeah, actually, he got the cover like 2 or 3 weeks ago when he first put that out. The ones that he has the rack that lifts up and down. Yeah, that's badass. That's next level crazy. So, how did I get into car audio? I was stupid. I mean, reality is that's what it was. I was stupid. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Isn't that how most stories start? Seemed like a good idea at the time.
No, I think everybody starts in car audio because they think it's fun, it's cool,
And it is.
hobby, and it's like until it becomes a job and it's not fun anymore.
You know, it was one of those things where I found out I could make money doing it. I was going to college and I was working for Procter & Gamble, and a friend of mine that is still in the industry and actually works with Chris, Chris here, got a job working at a place and called me up, and I went to work there. And they just needed somebody for Saturday, and Saturday turned into 6 days a week. Yeah, money was great. But, when Fernando moved here, he was doing construction, and working in a car stereo shop seemed like a way better option than doing construction. Would you agree? And it actually worked out pretty well for him. So. Dean, quick question. I installed the DNR 1007XR with the RR2, and when I open the door once in a while, the radio shows the door is open when it's open. It shows the door is open when it's open. Could be a wire loose. So, not a wire loose on the radio is what you're really asking. Is there a wire loose on the radio? So, that information is brought via data, either the OBD2 adapter or behind the radio. Everything passes over that piece of equipment, meaning it's just reading ones and zeros that your car is sending it. So if it's not working properly, it's more than likely your car that is giving it the wrong command and it's displaying it on the radio. So any time you get that, like if everything else is working, it's the car that's bad, not the module. No one likes to hear that, but the module's just reading what the car is telling it. So, yeah, it's not always the answer everyone wants. Have a great week. You have a great week too. I agree with your answer. Thank you. Probably sticking with the subs I have now mounted in the rear deck, trying to figure out how to make bass in a Charger with the seats folded up. Just take the seats out, and then you won't have to worry about them being folded up. Just saying. Like, who needs seats? Who's riding in the back of your car, bro? Just mount them in the back seat. Screw that. Just put them in the floorboards, man. Just hide them in the floor. Raise your seats up. Go to town. Listen, guys, we're gonna head out of here. Sorry, there's gonna be no hi-fi tonight. He had to work. Sucks. We'll have double fun next week, I guess. Stay tuned. Tomorrow morning is Friday, so that means we have the news, and we haven't had the news in 2 weeks. So hopefully there'll be tons of news for you guys to enjoy. We're gonna get out of here. We got a full day tomorrow of fun and excitement. That I hope. Are we gonna film that tomorrow?
What?
The truck is coming tomorrow. Are we gonna film that?
No.
No?
I mean, we can.
I mean,
It's
why
nothing
not?
crazy. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's a front stage upgrade, baby, and an F-150.
Okay.
You guys have a wonderful night as always. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, guys. I got nothing. Did you see that?
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, give it a second. I'm sure it'll pop.
There it is.
There you go. See?
Happy
Yep.
Valentina Day, guys.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
That's it.
That's it?
I got my Valentine.
Good. So you got some tackies.
I mean, it's the same brand, but it's actually chips.
The
But
chips,
same thing.
tacky chips.
Yeah.
Ooh. What's going on? Hot sauce on tackies. Exactly. Yeah, that's what's going on, Chris. That's what's going on.
That's it.
Where's that Moscone 100 by 6? Is that getting... I mean, it's the 6-point or 610.
610.
The 610. It's available. It's shipping. I miss Black Label Valentina.
Oh,
That's the
yes,
extra spice.
yes.
They sell that at Publix.
They have it.
Yeah, they have it at
Finish
Publix.
this, and then I got it.
Why?
Why not?
I just threw a bottle of that away.
Yeah.
I like the regular better.
Seems like the black is a little bit hotter.
It is. It's supposed to be. That's literally what it says. This is a daily occurrence when I worked in Mexico. I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds?
Bienvenido, amigo.
You need help. But hey, we have the Epicenter Mexico edition coming out.
It's coming out. Yeah.
So
Crazy.
absolutely no Black Label in New Mexico. You guys need a Publix. You're getting a CNC machine? I'm not at the moment. I mean, right now we're just trying to finish the install bay. Actually, we might be able to work on that. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So this still needs to go here. We got that there. I've started cleaning out these. So once we get that done, then we have to tackle this mess that's up front here because that's kind of been a catch-all. So, but the work continues. So this is an FJ Cruiser. How's that JBL Bluetooth speaker? This isn't JBL. This is actually an ATG. So this is way cheaper than a JBL. Way cheaper. Comes with that microphone and that remote. It sounds about as good as you think it would sound. I mean, let's be honest. It's just what it is. It's just what it's, But on to the FJ. So this came in for a couple pieces. This is, of course, the Fernando fuse holder. Simple fuse holder mounted up top here. Extra screw goes in to hold this in place. This, of course, snaps off Stinger fuse holder. Then this bracket can come off if needed. We also it's got this big zombie killer bumper. So we added this backup camera here to the front. He's a forum guy, and he's like, this is what everybody's doing. I was like, cool, we have those. So we put this on to the front. There's actually 2 holes here for a license plate, because obviously in some states you need that. We'll get to the head unit. Slow it down. We're going to go through the whole thing. So these are some M3 screws. Hold that in place. And then he wanted a backup camera. Now this guy rides bikes, and he had a huge bike rack. The bike rack sticks out to about here, and it's on there all the time. He never takes it off because it's like 90 pounds. It's actually in the car right now. So we couldn't put the camera here where we would normally want to put it, because when he folds it up, it covers it. So there again, the forums, this is where the guys in the forums are putting the camera. So we mounted a camera up here on top of this. this black piece is plastic. It's actually not part of the it's just a beauty panel, so there's no waterproofing involved in this. The glass is actually the seam for the window, so you know, water gets in and then it comes around, but it doesn't, this doesn't affect anything, so that's kind of cool. So we kind of U-cut it there so the cable could fold into this area, runs across here. There's a grommet here and then a grommet here, so cable snakes up through there. There's no room in the top grommet.
That was easy to put it on, right?
Oh yeah, it was a piece of cake. In this area here, there's this long, skinny, see how this is set up, so this isn't part of it. There's this long, skinny grommet. So for this, we had to make our own RCA power cable because there's no way to fit an RCA head through this, or any type of head for that matter. So we just made our own twisted pair of wires that come down and it comes through here, and then it works its way up to the front. This is the giant, it actually folds in two. It's a 4-bike rack. So this thing is like gigantic. For subwoofer, as you can see, he hauls some stuff. So this is the Kicker Comp RT 10-inch down firing enclosure. So this has the 10-inch subwoofer with the 10-inch passive radiator in it. Goes in this area right here. He does off-roading and camping and, you know, all the fun stuff, he said. So there's enough wire to where it can pretty much go anywhere it wants around here. So that's what he got for the subwoofer. For speakers, we did the Kenwood Exelon 6902s. So the 6x9 went here, and then the 2.5 went up here in the dash to replace the factory. What's up, Danny? So that he listens, so we had two to choose from. We were either going to go Focal or Kenwood. He listens to a lot of books on tape. That means we want to go with a speaker up top here instead of a tweeter. That way, when he's listening to books on tape, the conversation would happen up here, not down lower, because all these would do is, you know, 5,000 and up is the Focal tweeter. It's not going to sound good for books on tape. And he's like, 80% of what I do in this are podcasts and books on tape. So we wanted to make sure we had a speaker up in the top of the dash as opposed to just a tweeter. So for this, the 6902s just made more sense for this type of install. I'm going to go over to the other side. He also wanted a big screen, and so he went with the Kenwood Exelon 1057. So here's the 1057 all powered up. There's two reasons why I went with the 1057. One of them is because if you look right here, he scratched this bezel at some point in the life of this vehicle. It's a 2006, and he didn't want to see it, so guess what? Now it's gone. And two, he just wants a big screen in front of his face. As far as the cameras go, there we go. We have the front cam. You can see Fernando there eating his chips. Go to the rear cam. And with that top view, he just wants to see what's going on behind him. So it's not going to be as accurate as, you know, because the tire's in the way. So obviously if there's a midget right here, now keep in mind that bike rack sticks out about another 2.5 feet out of the back of the vehicle, and you'd be able, oh, hold on. You'd be able to see it here and here. Plus there'd normally be bikes all through here. So he just wants to see what's going on behind him. So not my, like, but hey, if this will get him what he needs, there you go. You can still see the bezel. Not from here. It's you can't see it. It's gone. There's no more scratch. Disappeared. So he's super happy about that. So yeah, that's what's. Oh, and then an amplifier. So for an amplifier, now if you guys have never seen one of these FJ, there's a speaker located up here. Very few people deal with it because it's like a 3.5. You have to take this and do a lot of work to get to that 3.5. So to put a set of 3.5s up there, to me, you spend more money on the front stage and you maybe get an amplifier. So in this case, he has an amplifier. Hang on. And up underneath the seat here, we have the Exelon 4-channel. So this is the XR 4-channel. And the cool thing about the XR 4-channel is it does 3 channels really nice. So you can use channels 1 and 2 to power highs, channels 3 and 4 to power sub. And in the box, it has a bass knob. So this comes with it. So we get one of the cool Kenwood bass knobs. So it's a perfect 3-channel system for installing into this vehicle. And then what makes it even more exciting is the radio itself. The 10-inch radio is unique in the Kenwood lineup in that it has the advanced EQ well above all of the others. And let me show you what I mean. Hold on, let me turn the volume. Let me go to radio. Turn the volume down. All right, so now we should be able to go into audio setup. And here we go. So if you've never seen one of the 10-inch Kenwoods, so this is the first page. This is your crossover setup. It gives you a cool representation here. As you can see, when we talk about amping the fronts and not amping the rears, the crossover here has the attenuation built into it. So we can attenuate down the rear channels to level match the RCA output to the deck power. That way, if we want to, because the deck power is going to distort and clip and max out long before the RCAs do. If we can turn this down, we don't have that problem. So they'll reach the same volume at the same time. It'll give us full control of our volume on this knob. So we can essentially turn the volume all the way up and not have to worry about the amplifier clipping out. There's 2 places in this radio where we can attenuate the level aside from the fader, because you can always do it from the fader. I don't like to do it from the fader. I like to go in and actually attenuate it here in the crossover. And then the other place you can do it is when you go to the time alignment. If you hit adjust, you can go into level control, and you can also attenuate it down a further amount here. So in this case, you can see we've level controlled it down. So this speaker that's sitting right above our head is a little too hot. So we've brought it down an additional 2 dB, along with what we've already brought both of them down here, which if we go to the rear, we've brought them down 6 dB. So that means that this speaker here is at 8 dB, this one is at 6 dB negative. So a lot of adjustment for just level control built into the deck, which allows us to do that amplified front, that deck power rear. That's an important thing on this. So there again, obviously if you have the budget to put a multi-channel amplifier in here, do that. But if not, this is another way to do it. And we can tell it's a 3.5. We can set our crossover properly, so it's a lot of fun there. EQ, there's no EQ. What the heck? There's no EQ set up. And there's a reason for that. If we go to sound effects inside of the radio, down here in the bottom, on the 10-inch only, it says parametric EQ on and off. Default is off. When you turn it on, now I have this parametric EQ built into the radio. And this is the EQ I'm playing with. It's like, you give me a better EQ, I want to use that. So this is the front, and we've made 2 adjustments to just the front output. So there's a common, a front, a rear, and a sub. And the 2 adjustments we made was, first, we added a high shelf. And we've talked about this a lot on the show. Hold on, what frequency should I lower if some songs sound harsh? I'm using my acoustic RTA, but it doesn't show any peaks. Lowering 2, 3 helped, but I wanted to know how to find specific frequencies. Obviously an RTA would allow you to do that. Other thing you can do too, if you'd like to understand frequency and what instrument is causing what headache, if you go to sweetwater.com, you can download this musical instrument frequency chart. And what it's going to do is it's going to tell you tenor sax. These are the frequencies that instrument plays in. So when you're listening to your music, if you kind of know what instrument it is, you can kind of see where it specializes at and where those problems are going to occur. So, if you pan out, like, lots of instruments, very few instruments, lots of. So this is a helpful thing. That's why we have it here on the wall, so we can use it as a quick reference if we're running into something that is a problem. Okay, back into the car. I'm a big fan of lowering 500 too. 500 to me is just an obnoxious frequency that bugs the shit out of me. Anyways, so in this case, we needed a high shelf, and this orange line or this yellow line here is a high shelf. So we've picked a frequency. We were using the RTA, so we were adjusting it until we saw the rise that we were looking for. Keep in mind, these are 2-inch up here in the dash. It's a middler. It does not have a tweeter, so we know that there's always going to be some form of a roll-off on that. And then adding that with a high shelf will solve those problems and bring that treble up to the response that we're looking for. And there again, you can use a high shelf and then have a low shelf, which will do the same thing on the other end. What that allows me to do is take one band of the EQ and essentially make tons of adjustments in one specific thing. So it's almost like a crossover. If you go back and you look at, oh, hang on, I went too far, audio. If you go back and look at the crossover, so like what you're seeing here is very similar to that high shelf. And in this case, we've used the crossover to lower all of this channel volume. When we go back, and there again, they're different, but they're visually they're very similar. And so as an EQ band, as you can see, this is really helpful for what we're trying to do. For the subwoofer, we created what I like to call the punch bass. I picked a 44 or 45 hertz, went with a wide Q. So this is a wide Q. So if we look over here, this is a 0.8 Q. And when you're adjusting the Q, if you'll watch, so I'll adjust it. And as you see, the Q is changing. As the Q changes, this gets narrower and narrower and narrower. So now it's a Q of 10. At this point, this is a notch filter. So this is what we were talking about the other day on the show. We were talking about a notch filter for like a GM door chime. That bong, bong, bong. So basically all that's happening at this point is 44 hertz. Very little to the left and right of 44 hertz is being affected. So this is great for finding specific problems and just dealing with it on a per frequency basis, like a door chime or something like that. We of course don't want to do that. We want to affect a bunch of frequencies because we want our bass to sound big and fat. So in this case, we picked a Q of like 0.6. As you can see, it's moving way out into here. So this is a big, bold, like nice sound. Which in this car at low volumes, it kind of needs that extra impact because there's lots of air inside of here. And I'm a big fan of punch bass, so anytime I can recreate it, I do. Rear, we didn't really have to do anything on because there again, it's 3.5s, and most of the work was spent here in common. So in the common, we have 9 bands of adjustment, and we didn't play with all of them, but as you can see, there's different things going on, and those 9 bands layered on top of the front, as you can see that blue line here, and the subwoofer, the blue line there, and this allows us to do all kinds of EQ adjustment in this head unit that this basic 13 band EQ wouldn't necessarily have the capability of doing. Now, that's not to say we can't go in and, let's say, pick jazz on top of that. We can. We can pick top 40. This guy listens to a lot of talk radio, or like I said at the beginning, he listens to podcasts. So if we come over here and we create this, okay, and what this is going to do, we don't even need subwoofer. Something like this right here is going to create a... Alright, so then we press and hold, hopefully. Oh, no, you know what? That's not it. Oh, it's going to... Okay, so we hit memory, then we hit press and hold. Always got to hit memory on a Kenwood. So, like, this would be a really good tune for listening to vocals, so like when somebody's talking with news and stuff like that, because what it does, think of this as an inverted loudness. This will keep that pop talking and that sound away from it. We'll put it back to flat. Another thing that's cool with this is you have all source on a Kenwood, so I can set that up for just, let's say, my iPhone. So the only time, or I can set that up if, like, the only thing I listen on FM is talk shows. That'll always be FM, so, and then when I switch to my phone, it'll be whatever I want. So source tone adjustment allows me to have different bass and treble settings using this EQ. The parametric EQ applies to everything. So you can see you get tons of equalization adjustment in this style radio, which is pretty awesome. All right. That's way too much information about Kenwood 101. I'm sure they're really thrilled. One other thing that the Kenwood has that's kind of cool is this feature right here, which is bass extension on and off. What this is used for is when you're doing front and rear, if you turn that on, it just leaves the subwoofer portions from 250 over flat. It shuts those bands off. It might be 160. Either way, it shuts those bands off. Why it does that is there again for the same reason why we were adjusting the subwoofer. So we might feel we need a little bit of subwoofer adjustment. Maybe add a little boost. Come in here at 62, add a little boost. Who knows? It's a radio. Go to town. Those adjustments will only affect the subwoofer RC output. It won't affect the front and rear. So if you're adding boost to the subwoofer, it won't mess with these. So when you leave that on, it does that. When did you get serious about car audio? High school. All right, guys, most guys have the problem of once you get into something, you don't know when to quit, right? Isn't that how we all are? Think of your garage or your closet at your house where, it's like, oh, I got into fishing. And the next thing you know, you're looking at bass boats or flats boats and you got 10,000 fishing reels. Fortunately for myself, my father-in-law was a fisher. So I bought one pole, one reel, some tackle. And then I came to the conclusion of, wait a minute, he's got all that crap. Why am I buying it? I can just use his. So I actually gave all my stuff to him and said, hey, I'm not going to need this because you already got it. So I'll just use yours when I come over. But RC cars, how many of us got into RC cars when we were kids? Or some of us are still in RC cars now. Honestly, I still look at RC car stuff because it's so alluring. We all love that stuff. But I actually still have my old associated RC10 and my RC10T and my RC10 four-wheel drive. I don't remember what it's called, TC or something like that, the original one. I have those sitting on a shelf that you guys sometimes see when I'm on a Hi-Fi Vegas show. If you look over this shoulder, there's a Van Halen painted one up on the shelf that it's there for one reason, so that I can see it and know, don't ever do that again. It's way too much money. So as far as getting serious about it, 1990, I got my first job, July. I got my first paycheck, and it was pretty much over after that because you just don't know when to stop. I mean, I didn't get paid for like a year because I was just buying myself stuff. All right, so I think we covered everything on this. I think we got all the questions. Hope you guys like that. That's why when people ask about those radios like the 1057 or the 10 or even the JVC Z1000W has those same features. They're pretty cool. Is it my imagination, but Kenwood is releasing a downgraded 107 XR as a 108 non-Exelon for money? Yes, there is a cheaper version of this radio that is a non-XR. Right now, I think is it a 1003? But yeah, they might have a 1007. But there is a non-Exelon version of the radio that does not have those features built into it. So if you want those, you have to get the XR, which is Exelon reference. Ooh. Because some people just want a big 10-inch screen. They don't necessarily need all of the fun features that it has. What's up, Elias? How are you? You're doing a great job today. Oh, wow. Okay, so update on the bag of chips.
Which ones?
Look at that.
There's no chips in there.
Look at that. He ate all the chips, and he's glistening. He's probably been wiping off. He sweats like it's hilarious. Yep, nope, there's the sweat. Yep.
It is, yeah.
Right there. He's sweating. Yep.
It's part of it.
Yeah, he sweats when he eats hot stuff. So what is Elias' logo, a rim?
Is the
Oh, is that the speaker with the LEDs?
No, that's his rims.
That's his rims?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fernando had a bag of Takis with Valentina sauce.
Happy Valentina Day.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even know it was Valentine's
Valentina Day?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was Valentina Day. I didn't know it was Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So
no, Christian, they don't make that fuse holder as detachable.
which one?
That.
What do you mean?
They make a 0 gauge, but it's not detachable.
Oh. Well, yeah, they just use the standard waterproof, the one that everybody uses.
Yeah, but as soon as you mount it, it's like you cannot.
Well, no, it's got 4 screws. It ain't going nowhere.
Right.
It's a 0 gauge, though. I think probably a bad idea
Bad idea for what?
to have that on a 0 gauge.
Remove it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that would be cool, man.
I think it'd be cool, too, but I mean...
It's like you have so much stuff so you can remove it. You don't have to take the whole thing. But, choose me.
No, so, all right, so here's a pro tip for the day, because some of you guys out there, like, you've bought into the whole, like, holiday thing. We celebrate one holiday in my house, which is Christmas. It's the only holiday that we do gifts. We really don't even do anniversaries. We do the big ones, like, 25 and maybe 30. But Valentine's Day, never celebrated it, ever. We both agreed that it's a dumb holiday, and it's great, kind of roll with it. I do typically get something for Haley, just because, but I don't have to celebrate.
I mean, you part of it. You celebrate it.
I buy her a box of candy. She just wants candy. So, and it's funny because most of the time she doesn't even eat the candy. It's like, so I just buy the candy that I want. But
4th of July? What about 4th of July?
Valentina tacos for dinner tonight.
Oh,
Taco
nice.
Tuesday. There you go. We just wanted to see the laser in action. I just want to move the laser to where it belongs, and then I'll be fine with that.
I think we have to fire up the laser right today.
Why?
Just to play with it.
No, we don't need to. We have other stuff we need to do. Dude, 4th of July. The 4th of July 5-star is my favorite tea. Well, yeah, mine too. I mean, every now and then you do something like, oh, that was a cool idea. We thought about doing one with the Florida flag in it, and then immediately Haley shot that down. I was going to do the Mexican flag. Still might do that one.
I'm going to do that one.
Kenwood DNR 1007XR is 1500. The DNR is 16. So scratching head on what is the upgrade. Timeout. Okay, so good question. The 1008 RVS is not for cars. Okay, so what is the RVS? The RVS is for motorhomes, not motorcycles. Motorhomes.
Yes,
RVs. So that's why it's an RVS. So it's for recreational vehicles. It has a different map system set into it for motorhomes. So it's designed specifically for those guys. It has nothing to do with automotive. Kenwood has been making an RV radio for years. The only problem is it was only available to RV centers. This year they decided, Kenwood America has asked if it can be available to everyone outside of just the RV people, so that anyone that has an RV does not have to go to their RV center and pay $2,500 for it. They can just get it from somebody like us or an online reseller.
And that's what
or
they sell
something.
for $2,500?
The other one?
Regular.
No, the other one was stupid expensive. That was like the one that my neighbor had in his car. And I was like, holy crap, I've never even seen this before. It looks just like ours. It acts just like ours, but there are other features built into it just specifically for RV. So that's what the RVS is. You want the 1007 XR. It's a better radio. It's made for us. So there is a difference between those two radios, and I could see where it's going to be confusing for some people, because they're like, oh, that one's only $100 more. I'll just buy that one. It's like, nope, you're not getting the same feature set. The audio pack and the XR is different. So the $100 isn't really offsetting itself, because the 8 is really more like the 3. You understand? So you got to think of a 3 with a better set of RV stuff in it, not a 7 that's a little better. It's not the same thing. So XR, premium, that's it. If it doesn't have an XR on the end of it, it's just base model, regular stuff.
Oh, that's a good one right there.
What?
Scroll it, because like the bridges height.
Yeah, it makes sense because bridge heights are included in those maps. Exactly.
Very nice.
Yeah, so Motorhome Edition, RV. That's what it's for. XR is what you're looking for sound quality. I know, man. Some of these model numbers are just whack, and they don't always make sense. But I feel they try to throw everyone a bone when they put RV in there. But there again, we can't make heads or tails of the model numbers any other time. So I get it. But there you go. Now you know what the difference is. It's pretty cool. You know, if you had TI 3 12-inch, who would you have build a box? I just reach out to Sean, you know, have him build it for me, you know. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope you have a great weekend.
I'm having a great weekend.
It's only Tuesday. I can't even think
really?
about the weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
See, now you're killing the whole joy.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. All right, guys. Well, hey, we promised you we'd come on today and talk about the FJ. We have. We're going to get some other work done. We got like an hour and 15 minutes, so we're going to do some cleaning and try to organize some of this stuff so that hopefully we can get this toolbox moved over. We have some electrical we have to move, which is really what's dragging us, because moving electrical sucks. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. It's hump day. What do you say on hump day?
Mike.
Rios. You guys have a great rest of your day. See ya. Got 8% battery life. That's it. Just 8%. It's okay.
Really?
Yeah. It's alright.
I just want to see if the notification comes out. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah?
Yes. Do you know
No.
that this company is gonna be at this show?
What are you talking about?
Morel
What about?
Hi-Fi.
Yeah.
.com is a place to go to buy some car audio stuff.
We don't buy
Cool
stuff.
car
You
audio
can't
stuff.
buy it there.
No, I mean, look over there.
You can look there.
Hey, yeah, hey.
You're not going to buy it there. What's up, guys?
And then you can come over here and Instagram and look all the cool stuff.
Where? I mean, just Instagram in general?
Instagram at Morel_America. And they're gonna be a MasterTech Expo.
Yeah, we get to do our thing again.
Oh, we're gonna be there.
Did you watch today's video?
No.
You should. You got to put headphones on, though.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because it's the Virtus.
My phone does pretty good.
Your phone does not do pretty
my
good.
phone
There
does
is
pretty
not a
good.
chance, dude. You're insane.
So
hey,
what-
guys, what's happening? So check it out. We are doing some testing today. I got a ton of adapters. These are USB-C adapters. And we're doing some IRTA2 testing to figure out what is the best, what gives us this. Because you need to start with this cool baseline here. I got like 8% battery life left. You need to start with this in order to accurately test your car. And one of the reasons why we went out and bought these USB-C iPads as opposed to just a regular Lightning iPad is because this is the new platform. We understand that. And we want to make sure that you can use your IRTA2 with this. Now, the problem is this is the Apple Lightning to aux jack.
Yes.
And it's pretty awesome. It does what it needs to do. So what are you doing?
Oh,
So do me a favor and plug this in.
The blue one?
Plug the blue one in.
Okay.
So unplug. Nope, just pull this whole thing.
Yeah.
Just pull the whole thing out of there. So the problem is you see on the back of this, it says no work. And we've got several of these that we bought. All right, plug that in. And what we're going to see is, and it's going to take a second. This is using Octave RTA, by the way. As you see now, boom, we got that cool flat line, which is what we're looking for. Now this one is brand new. Open that one up.
Okay, so just remove that one.
Remove the blue.
Remove it there.
And we'll pull out this brand new one. We'll plug that guy in. And ta-da! It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. It doesn't even recognize it. Doesn't know what the heck is going on. And this is the problem we run into because Apple makes a great cable, but it doesn't work. And so this is 4 cables we bought. 2 of them work, 2 of them don't. So it kind of sucks. Like, how do we recommend that cable?
Right, it's
Now,
hard.
It's hard. Now, if you grab, let's grab one of these.
I got this one.
Which one did you grab? That one. Okay, so we grabbed this one here. this is just another version of the Apple cable. Go ahead and plug it in. Now, keep in mind, one of the things that makes these USB cables unique is that they have a DAC inside of the cable. And not everyone uses a high-quality DAC. So give it a second here. Let it take over. If it's going to take over.
It's not going to take over.
It's not going to take over?
No, it's not.
I don't know. Try it again. Make sure your phone is still working.
It's working.
No, I bet you it's not. Yeah, is it still working?
Yeah.
All right, well, see, there you go. That one's not even working at the moment either.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and pull that one out. Plug that one back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's there again. It's a hit or miss. Plug the other one back in. So plug that one in. Now, this is what we were playing when we first started the show. So let's see if it's going to work. We're at 70% battery life. All right, so it should take over. There we go. Oh, so now it took over. So what this is USB-C to Lightning. And then this is the Apple Lightning to aux jack that we already had because of the aux to Lightning. So this is using the cable we already had, the little Lightning. So this is a little Lightning end right here. Ooh. And it plugs into this USB-C. And believe it or not, this has been the best. We have two of them. We've bought in two, and both of them have worked. So it's pretty awesome.
Let me see if I can test this one.
Yeah,
so
let's
can
test.
see.
Oh yeah, this one is good. So this was a set, and I bought these because they're again. I bought like a handful of these. It was ridiculous. And so as I was saying, so inside of this is a DAC, and
it took over.
All right,
but
so
look at that.
This is what this DAC is doing. Boom.
Look like both.
It is just yeah, exactly. There's no highs, there's no lows. It's the Bose DAC. If we change anything here, it doesn't get any better. So there again, it worked, but it's just crashing the frequencies.
Right.
And this was a problem that we ran into, like Brian ran into, because we had one that was working and we hadn't thoroughly tested it. And this was at Knowledgefest, and he was like, "Dude, I don't know why I'm not getting any high frequency response." Because he had one of the Lightning adapters, or he had one of the USB-Cs, and it wasn't working. So the reason why we're doing all this testing is obviously so you don't have to. And because the Apple is not 100% reliable, sadly, this looks like this is the best alternative, or you have to buy at least 2 or 3 of these until you find one that works. And if you do, this actually works. As we saw, it works exceptionally well.
Like we have, like, you know, like.
Well, no, but this is the US. This isn't this though. Right, so like, and then we have a couple more. There's this one. This one's cool. Plug this one in.
This one is cool.
Yeah. So that one. What is the alternative brand name?
I'll have the box.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, he'll give the box. Yeah.
Don't pressure me, okay?
I'm pressuring you. So watch this one. This one is cool. Watch what this one does. Oh my gosh. And keep in mind, these are like, so you can put headphones into your iPads and stuff. So you can only imagine how bad, like, that's going to sound.
Boom, took over.
Look at that.
There.
Like, holy crap.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah. So that is giving you no bass. This is cool. Like, if we're just looking at that, we're like over, and I was like, what the hell? This is the one that we're having the most success with now. And there again, it doesn't even really have a brand on it.
But I mean, no, it doesn't.
There's no part number to it. It's so sad.
Maybe you can put it in the.
I'm going to put a link to it.
Yeah, because that will be.
Well, that's the thing. So
yes,
we're doing these testing so that we can update the page so that we make sure we give you guys the best. We're going to make a video showing you all this and why they suck and Accubase. Actually, it's not a bad idea. We could use this to do a Accubase demo. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good idea. And so we're just trying to figure out. Obviously, it'd be nice if we could just get one cable that did the job, and the Apple cable will. But screenshot the SKU of the box. Yes. Well, see, that's just it though. There is no.
Yeah, I mean, you can take a screenshot.
Well, there's no part number on it.
Oh.
No.
At least if you see the picture.
Yeah, but there's no picture for the box in there. Trust me, when this just showed up,
that was just that.
It was just random shit. So.
Yeah, let's put the model number.
I can't. I'm
no,
on my
no.
phone.
I'm saying when.
Yeah, but this model number doesn't get you. It doesn't. Type it in your Amazon. I guarantee it's not going to get you there.
I'm using it for the pink noise.
We don't need the pink noise anymore.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, we don't need pink noise anymore. So that's what's going on as far as, we had a little bit of time here at the end of the day, and we wanted to play with these cables that I've got a bunch of cables on. I'm trying right now to have my engineer get me just a C to whatever and get a nice DAC inside of it. I think what's happening with the Lightning to USB is it just bypass, or it has a better DAC. I don't know. We just got lucky on that one. Yeah, you getting anywhere with that? Still trying to type in all those funky numbers?
Yeah.
On my F-150 with the 4-inch screen, would you do a factory Sync 8 upgrade or go aftermarket? Go aftermarket. 100% go aftermarket. We have 3 great kits for that now. iData makes a kit, PAC makes a kit, Metro makes a kit. There's no reason to go with anything Ford factory, nothing. Did it pull it up?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. That was the part number. Oh, wow.
I mean, it's weird when they actually put it.
Yeah, all right. So here's the part number. Hold on. That was the part number. So this ungodly long number here, BO9Q8Q2R7R. Keep in mind with that's it right there. But keep in mind with that cable, you will need the aux to Lightning adapter from Apple, which these are bulletproof, man. We lose more of these than we've lost a lot of these.
Look at that.
Yeah, so
there you go.
Maybe we should find out what DAC chip it has in it. We'll just see
let me call them right now.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, there you go. 2021 Ford Explorer ST factory 10-inch screen. Is there an upgrade? No. As far as replacing the radio, I don't think we're going to be doing that one for a long time. Oh, nice one, Fro. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be doing that. Hey, did you see yesterday where it was funny how we were talking about iData Updata coming out with all of the new A to B and stuff like that, and then the day after, then Tuesday, they go and release all that information on their page. Yeah. It was I just thought the timing was funny. I'm sure it had nothing to do with us, but it was kind of funny that they did that. So, it's a 3. It's a 3. It doesn't work.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got to be a 4. Yeah.
But can we paint some
little black stripe on it
with Sharpie?
I've been all through Amazon.
I know. It's just you still want to look, see if they have.
I've been all through Amazon, man. I've been all through this. Have you heard of the MBE enclosures? Yes. He's in Atlanta. He's got a YouTube channel. MBE, yeah.
Cool.
MBE, isn't that him? Yeah. The dude that makes the YouTube videos. He's been on Kicker. Yeah. Makes cool stuff. And he's cuts like a knife when it comes to being brutally honest. He's my kind of guy. Last time we were talking to you guys, we were talking about the workbench here, progress on the workbench. We had some electrical we had to remove, so we got the electrical out yesterday, which is cool. But that's also why this side of the shop is dark, because apparently that electrical was attached to the electrical we had to remove. But we're getting closer to this. Fernando's going through our crap box. This stuff's going to probably end up in the trash for sure. But every shop has a crap box, and it's all these harnesses from. I don't even know where these harnesses. Honestly, I think I know where most of these harnesses came from. When I started working here, Paul had bought out all of the Circuit City harnesses. Mm-hmm. And so I think a lot of these are just the open Circuit City harnesses. So that just goes to show you how old some of these harnesses are.
How old you are?
No, not me. Just shush. Anyways, they're hiding, so we never notice them. But I don't want to put them in these because we actually want to put stuff in there. And honestly, we never use this stuff. It's every now and then we'll pull something out. So it's it's just kind of ridiculous. But all right, so
it's going to end it out in the stack room.
Going to end up in the trash can. Any experience with Metro DSP? I have one in my 2014 Sierra, and it's a pain to do any adjustment. Any recommendations? There's no DSP that is oh my god, that was just theirs is just as difficult as everyone else. I mean, the nice thing about theirs is you can plug it in. You just use a phone or a pad of some kind, and you can make the adjustments. So from that perspective, yeah, it's actually pretty easy because open up some of the bigger software on the laptop, and you'll be like, oh, wow. Now, to me, I would much rather open up a laptop just because it's more comfortable. I can sit back, I can relax, I can do what I needed to do. But if you're trying to do like DSP settings on the go, man, there isn't anybody that does a good job of that. The DSP is really made to like when you have time, you sit back, relax, you play with the DSP, and you go to town. So like nothing is like putting a 7-band EQ in the dash that you can just quickly adjust. Nobody makes anything that even is remotely as simple as that you control from any form of device. So the one thing about theirs that just kind of I wish they would change, but I get it, and actually there is a hack for it, which is how their DSP runs from top to bottom. You know, I want to do this, so when I use their DSP, I do lock orientation on the phone so that I can turn the phone like this and do my adjustments that way, just because that's how my brain works, as opposed to trying to go down with it. So that's like the hack of like, oh, why don't you just do that? And it's like, oh, why don't you just make sense? So, yeah. But, where's my wire bin? Relax. We moved it. Any good in the crap box? There's some T harnesses, but you know, it's like I got Mitsubishi harnesses.
Hey, listen, you want a center channel? I got a center channel for you.
Yeah, there you go. I got a chime speaker. I don't even know what's in here. That's the problem. And a lot of this stuff. So here's the problem, man. I'd say a good.
Why do you always think about the problem?
Well, just because I think of solutions. A lot of these harnesses, like 80% of the harnesses now, are all smart harnesses. Like pretty much every car we do when we're putting a radio in it has a smart harness. So these harnesses, like, we don't even see these cars anymore. And so we just have all this stuff, and that's what happens. I mean, you guys, for old-time fans of the show, remember, like, these Pioneer boxes, like this. For those of you guys that have been watching for a long time, you remember, like, when we had those, they went all, like, we had Pioneer boxes just packed on here, and this is all that's left. This is all that's left. So we've systematically been cutting it back, and even these are eventually going to change to that as soon as I get the time to go buy them and all that other crap. So, yeah, it's just, I personally like these, like getting these. These are nice. Ooh, yeah, that's cool. But you wouldn't put crap in there. Those all have like stuff in it. Do you think I should go with 2/8 enclosure from MBE for my F-150, or do a Fox box with L7Ts? Okay, I've heard the Fox box, so I mean, naturally, you know, but hey, man, support a local guy. I mean, I can't make that decision for you. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. If you want to give MBE a try, give him a try, man. He seems like he knows what he's doing. He makes some nice boxes. You know, there again, I know Joe Fox, so it's like I can call and talk to him. But yeah, I mean, if the guy's going to make you something custom, you can talk to him on the phone. You tell him what you want, tell him what you're looking for. He seems like a real straight shooter. I mean, I don't know him personally. I've only seen his videos. He seems like seems like a good guy. So if you like him, throw him some coin. Good evening, guys. What's up? Circuit City, LOL. Yeah, you old. I thought I was the only one with a crap box. Listen, you show me an installer, and I will grab their toolbox, and guaranteed there's a drawer somewhere in their toolbox that has crap in it.
That's not true.
It's totally true. I know, because you've probably got crap in one of your drawers.
Not at all.
Totally. Want me to go look?
No, let's not go.
I was gonna say I can tell you exactly. I'll show you my crap drawer right now. So, this is my crap drawer right here. This is it. This is my crap drawer, and it's a mixture of crap and stuff that I need that just doesn't have. So, like, these are my pinning tools. These are my random USB cables. A lot of the stuff is like just like there again. I have brand new sets of test leads. I got some business cards. Like, ooh, who uses those? But yeah, this is my crap drawer right there. That's just the only drawer I have that's filled with crap. Everything else is like, that's not crap. That's like real stuff. This one, no, it's this drawer here. So like this drawer is just, I have too much shit drawer, stuff. So this has this is what I call my standard drawer. And also if I need to make a bomb, I have a propane tank in there. But like everything that is standard.
That's the only thing you need.
Yeah, that's it. So all the standard open end wrenches and all the standard Allen keys are in that drawer. So if I have a car that comes in where it's like, I only have American screws, I can go in there and grab that. Anything coming in iData for new Chevys? The answer is yes. But the answer the real question is you want to ask is when.
When, yeah.
And the truth is, the when I cannot answer. We know that they're working on a bunch of stuff. What they just announced this month, that we actually announced back in November, is that we were supposed to see like A to B, AR2, which is a big deal, and the new SR. So SR is going to be basic radio replacement.
Yeah.
AR2 is going to allow us to do installations that we'd use a DSR1 on, but no DSR1. So, for example, like if we're doing a Mustang, and when we can put a DSR1 in there, but we really want to put another brand in there. Well, cool. Now I can put the AR2. It'll give me my preamp. I go directly into my new DSP, or I can go Toslink into my new DSP. So
you said it wrong.
I probably did. And then the new A to B is for Ford and Lincoln, and that is going to be a new platform, okay? And think of it like this. The new A to B platform allows us to do both radio replacement or amplifier replacement in one harness or one module. That's big. And that is going to be the first platform that feature set is on. And the reason why they're doing that is because these data bus systems are getting harder and harder to interface with. And if you're just going to make one module, you might as well, if you're going to make a module, you might as well just make one and have it do everything. GM uses most, okay, over Ethernet. And in order to deal with that, you have to be most certified. You have to be able to test most. And man, let me tell you what, most is expensive. Every time we bring this up with one of our manufacturers, the first thing they go, you know how much that costs? Yeah, I know how much it costs. You've told me, he's told me, that guy's told me, this guy over there has told me, all y'all have told me. Spend the damn money so we can get the harnesses. So really, the upfront cost and having the most interface, it seems to me what all the vendors are telling us is that's the most expensive thing. It's not like something they can just hack. It's not like something they can just do workarounds on. They have to be most certified in order to make these adapters. And iData, I believe, is now most certified, but there again, it took time. And it's just a matter of them building the product now. They do have a ton of engineers, but it's a lot of work because it's not like GM just says, it's not like you call up GM and say, hey man, we want to build this. Could you send us the code? Sure, you guys are iData, you're Canadians, eh? No problem, we'll send it over to you. Doesn't happen. But yes, it's on the list. I don't know, December seems like a good year for presents, right? We'll see.
Most.
Any chance we can get a tech talk on differences in 14 and up GM trucks? Like the data bus type stuff? That'd be cool. One of the things I was trying to get is James from iData, who's the engineer now. Their head engineer guy. I think he's the boss now. Don't tell anyone. Is do something like that. So the problem is yes, I would love to have him on and have him kind of run down all of that. I think it'd be awesome. I think you guys would be bored out of your mind. And when you guys get bored, you get snarky in the comments. And like, even though we're trying to teach you some next level stuff, you're like, oh, this is so boring. And then like 5 of you end up watching. So yeah, for the 5 guys that watch, you're going to learn some pretty amazing stuff. But for the rest of you, it's like, oh, I don't care.
What kind of speakers should I put?
Yeah, what 6.5 should I get? Anyways. It's not great. The right box MB does make some nice boxes. The only downside is that speakers face forward. Careful with someone kicking them. Oh yeah, little kids suck. They just run into poles and knock themselves out. Any experience with the FIO model number or something? It is a good idea to use it in between your phone and the amplifier, trying to make a direct connection to the amplifier, skipping the head unit. If you're looking to do something like that, the FIO, the Alistair Kern, all those guys, those are really cool. Casey was using one of those in the his car, at the Volkswagen, in the Morel car at Knowledgefest. There's some guys that use that. I've thought about it. Like I always get it wrong. Alistair Kern sent me one of their models with a whole bunch of high-res music on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then I thought about my life for a minute, and I was like, I will never use this, ever. Because it's just inconvenient as hell. Everything I have is on here, and there again, we're a good enough society, and what this is kicking out is better than most, you know?
The interface?
Yeah. So,
No, yeah.
I mean, that's just reality.
Yeah, but like, those things is just to have them to like.
Yeah, but I'm not ever
around.
going to
you're
use
not
it.
like that.
I'm never going to. I mean, I have a thumb drive filled with high-res music. Have you ever listened to it? Never.
Because you have it already.
No, I'm just saying. Whatever, man. That was my thoughts as well. Yep, kids dent dust caps. Yeah, I remember those. Yep, I've been watching since 2015. We're talking to the shop, do a head unit review, and yeah, we also used to throw the brochures, like, because they're paper and nobody reads them. Oh, I cannot tell you how much hate mail we got for that. Fox box for the win. Bobby does have a Ram Fox box. All right. Yeah, so this is the AC BT24, and this plugs right into an audio control amplifier. And I will tell you this, a lot of DSPs now have that feature built into them. So some form of Bluetooth, some form of Wi-Fi. A lot of DSPs, a lot of DSP amps have that capability that you can just stream high-res directly into an amp. Oh my gosh, what?
18 days.
Till
Expo.
All right, well, we got to hurry up on that trophy.
18 days.
Crutchfield recommends shell-on kicker to replace the factory 8-inch, but I was thinking an LT T8 downfiring will be better. What do you think? Okay, so I'm guessing you're talking about replacing something like in a rear deck or a side-loaded something or other factory. Using the factory amp, and it'll stop the rattle. That's all it'll do. Like, we had to do a Toyota Sienna van the other day, and for that, which we've done the 4Runner, and we put the Pioneer in there, and we get people drive all over the place to have us do it. It's like a 2.5-hour job. So much fun. And all their biggest thing is, will this stop the rattle? It's like, yeah, it'll stop the rattle. They never ask, how will it sound? Because they don't care. They're just tired of the rattle. The factory is way more efficient than the kicker. And that means that the little amplifier that the factory has is not going to move the kicker the way it needs to be moved. But it'll sound okay, and it won't rattle, and it'll make a little bit of bass. The L7, on the other hand, with an amplifier, not the factory, would be silly amounts of bass. So I vote for that. Any recommendations on stereo upgrade for 2011 4Runner? Anything. Pick anybody's. Find something that's iData compatible, because iData works best as far as stereo controls, backup, camera retention in that particular vehicle. Their harness makes the most sense. So anything along those lines, Kenwood, Sony, go for it. Favorite aftermarket radio currently? Man, I tell you what, it's a toss-up between the Sony 9005 and the Kenwood Exelon XR 1057. Man, I've had more experience with the 1057, so I'm really like, yay, that is so cool. The Sony is fun too. It's going to be one of those two, man. It's going to be one of those two. I mean, and we have them both, so it's a tough one.
Yeah.
You can take that out. You know, that's not part of that. It's got to go back into the drawer. Look at Danny. Danny's just all up in the comments today. Danny must not be at work. Any recommendations on marine amps for a Can-Am? Kits are too expensive, and I'm trying to do my own thing and save some money. Okay, so there's a wide variety of like Can-Am style stuff now. Like MB Quartz is in that genre now, which makes an affordable version of that. Boss, believe it or not, Boss is in that camp now. That makes affordable alternatives, and they don't sound bad, okay, and they're waterproof. But the problem you're going to run into is anyone that makes a really nice waterproof amplifier, like ACX amplifiers from Audio Control. They make 6 different waterproof amplifiers that literally can go into a bucket of water. They make a 5-channel, a 6-channel, a 2-channel, a 4-channel, and 2 mono blocks. That 5-channel is badass, and there again, it's compact in design and can get totally wet, like submerged wet. And then you also have the Kenwood and the JVC little micro amplifiers, which are these guys right here. These things are super affordable. These guys, like, they're both Kenwood and JVC make the version of these. So these are little tiny waterproof amplifiers, and they're waterproof, like 100%. When we did our class on those, we had them in a bucket of water. We dynoed them. They put out more than rated power so they're rated at 14.4, and they do overrated power at 13 volts. So badass little amplifiers. And there again, they make a Master, which is a 4-channel amplifier with a Bluetooth controller and an aux output, so that you can either go to another 4-channel amplifier and or the sub-amplifier. Or they make a 4-channel and mono block if you already have a radio that you can connect them to. So, pretty awesome. Both Kenwood and JVC make those amplifiers because it's the same company. It's just a matter of which color you like, I guess. But those are probably going to be your most affordable waterproof amplifiers. Jeez, man, 18 days. Dude, that is so crazy. Have you ever tested the Exelon and the XR 5-channel amp? 5-channel. Yeah, totally. You're talking about the 901.5. 901.5, we dynoed that. There's a video on our site that is all Kenwood amplifiers dynoed. So because we had to do it for Kenwood when we went to Master Tech last year, they just wanted a video where it just showed the dynos going in a loop with a picture of the amplifier in the corner. I just remember that we got 800 watts out of the sub channel in the 901.5, and it's only rated for like 500 watts. Yeah. So hands down, man, those amps, the value in those is ridiculous. Yeah, so we dynoed all the amps. So you can check that out if you want. Fernando's, but can it get totally wet? Yeah. These amps, like I said, we dynoed those in a bucket of water. 100% submerged. If we did
Days?
Yeah, it was overnight, 24 hours.
Yeah, 24.
We had it in water for 24 hours, which you're not supposed to do, but we did it anyways. Screw 'em. That video that shows that is the Boring Life of Dean and Fernando's travel video we did to Orlando for JVC. So if you go to like our travel videos, you can see that sitting in a bucket of water, and it was there for 24 hours. We tested it before, we tested it after. Dean, when setting the gain on the amp, do you have the ACR wide open or tuned down? Anytime you're setting your gain and it's got a subwoofer level control, you're going to have your subwoofer level all the way up. It's an epicenter, so as far as having your effect all the way up, probably not, because that is going to change depending on the type of music you're listening to, is how much that effect is going to have. So that is one of those things where it's like, maybe instead of 10 dBs of overlap, you just do 5 dBs of overlap, because you're going to know at some point you're going to clip that output, and there's really nothing you can do about it, because it's just going to happen. And with it just happening, that's all we got for you today. We're going to go home. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. What is today, Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
We're going to see you tomorrow because tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah,
Who knew?
No kidding.
All right, see you guys.
What's going on?
What's going on, man? Teary-eyed?
Huh?
Crying?
Always.
Just it's a shame what these guys... What happened to the cable?
No, that's how it comes. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Alright. Look at Mary Lou back there. Just jamming out. Oh, wow, you got some hater blockers on. Damn.
Oh my god.
Ah.
Rapping, just please call.
Yeah. Yeah, she's doing some rapping. Rap star. Well, good afternoon, everyone. How is everybody doing? We're going to do a fun one today, in that we're hitting towards the end of the day, and we have to do one last radio. It's kind of a rescue. Apple Wireless CarPlay recommended head unit. Actually, that's what we're doing in here. They're doing the ILX W650. For the money, it's a really nice little radio. They actually had an ILX 007 in here, which is the original, the OG. So, pretty funny there. Good afternoon. Alpha makes a nice Apple Wireless radio. Yeah, the 407 actually is the one you're thinking of. I think it's the 407. We just put one in another car before this. 2 cars before this. What's up, Morel? Do you need the USB? Yeah? Okay. I'll set it over here. So anyways, we're going to talk and work today because that's always fun. Oh, sorry. We're just kind of separating stuff out. All right. Getting rid of a bunch of... We've got the owner's manual here. I'm going to put this back in the box. And we'll leave the keys out of the way. Don't ever leave drill bits on drills. Put them back in their little containers so that you don't actually have the drill fall off the table and break the drill bit. It really sucks. I'm sure you guys have experienced some of that joy before. So, hey, hi Natasha, how are you? Looking forward to Master Tech. She gets to hopefully come to Master Tech with us, and she'll actually get to see the class we're going to be teaching it.
You gonna be there?
I think. Are you going to be there, Natasha? I hope so. I mean, it's her hometown. I would hope so. What was that model again? That is the Alpine ILX-W650. Yeah, ILX-W650. Now, if you want something that's iData controlled, it's anybody's guess at that point. Everyone makes one of those. If you're just looking for a nice, simple, affordable, doubled in with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Natasha's going to be there. Now, this is a Jeep, as you guys just saw. We order in the Alpine brackets for the Jeeps. We get those from Pack Parts. It's these guys. The reason why we do that is because everyone else uses plastic. They use these crappy things right here, and they don't ever sit right on the radios. They do this garbage, and it looks like garbage. Whereas the Alpine, it's all metal, so that solves the issue of the radio being wobbly in the dash. And this will work on all Chryslers. It's not just Jeeps, so it'll work on the Ram. It'll work on anything that takes that 6500 kit. Let's see now. Ooh, yeah. How sexy is that? Fernando's trimming up some of the dash. Let's take a look. A lot of people get in these Jeeps and they just start hacking stuff out. No, that's not the case. There's a very specific piece of the dash you need to remove. That little piece right there.
If you want to cut it, don't cut it with your teeth.
Oh, yeah, they did a good job on that. Yeah, yeah, okay. And the reason why that has to get put out or removed is so that because the radio sits a little higher in the dash. There's some people will not remove it, and then it just, Morello Italiano in the house. Italia. What's going on? We got both. Got US and Italia. Love these guys. Hopefully you guys just caught the cool video we did. A being between the Virtus Carbon Nanos and the regular Virtus. We did a nice little A/B comparison that we put out on Wednesday, I think. I've managed to hurt myself twice today, so I got that one there. I got this one here. So it's been a bloody day. Looks like they chewed on it. Maybe they were hungry doing the install. Now these brackets do have an L and an R on, which is really cool. If you guys want to order a set of these, you can order them from Paul. You can give him a call, and he'll ship them out to you if you don't want to go the other way. There we go. See now, for those of you that have ever worked with this Chrysler kit, you know how much fun it is to put in, but we're done. That's it. This thing is already set to go. Look at that. Look at that. Nice. Yeah. Love that kit. I'm going to set this aside. All right. Now we're going to take a look at the wiring harness. So when you're doing a Chrysler, oh, hang on, what do we got? I've installed a couple of the new audio control ACX amps recently. They sound great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Rob. You can order them direct from No, you get them from Pack Parts. Pack Parts out of California. Not Pack like the Amp Global company. Pack as in Pacific. Yeah, those guys. Anyways, so when you go to do a Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, whatever you want to call it, you get one of these cool harnesses here, and my guess is this one is probably not going to work for us because it's an older version of it, but it had an Alpine, so we're just going to keep our fingers crossed. You have to look at the factory plug to figure out if it's a 4 or an 8, meaning are there 8 speaker wires or 4 speaker wires. If there's 8 speaker wires, it's normal, go to town, front, rear, call it a day. If it's a 4, that means it's going to have an outboard amplifier somewhere, and it's going to be using the rear speaker wires to power the factory amplifier. And what that means for you and I, stuff's over there. What that means for you and I is if I go and I hook up the same colors using a pack harness, then I won't get any calling. Bluetooth calling won't work because Bluetooth typically only comes out of the front speakers, and I just hook the rear speakers up to the input of the amplifier, so it has no sound, and it's kind of a bummer. Now, if you use an iData harness that we can use on an ILX W650, because we can, because you can program them as standalone, and then of course they have the new iData ones that are just coming out. But what's nice about the iData harness is that it comes with a plug you can unplug, so you can switch the 2 wires if need be.
Was the dash kit broke?
We're putting a new dash kit in, and I'm live right now. So
oh, sorry.
That's I'm not talking to anyone but the phone. It's okay. Anyways, what's up, Haley? So the first prep on the radio, Alpine likes to have is external. All these little cables are coming off the back, so I like to get the RCAs all taken care of first, because I like to make them big. So this is my RCA cable now. So I have my 2 camera cables here, and then I have, sub, front, rear. And if you're not going to put the plugs on the back of the radio, this is definitely the best way to do them. As far like if you're not going to do that, which is super easy, this is probably the next best way to where it's a staggered bundle like this. You managed to do it here, but for some reason you couldn't do it there. Kind of strange, right? All right. All right, so plug that into the radio so we don't lose it. Get rid of the bags and zip ties, clean off the counter. Always clean after you're done if you can. So they had an existing Alpine in here, so checking the steering wheel control, it's set to 1. We're good. You don't have to worry about that. Now, I know that this interface isn't going to work the way I want it to because it's an old interface and it hasn't been updated to the new stuff, so that's going to be a problem, but we're not going to deal with that at the moment. Need to remove their tape and crappy connections that they did. What's up, Yak Dill? Don't bother Dean when he... yeah, people always do. So these wires here, these are the front speaker wires. There's nothing physically there in the dash. We could take this apart, we could repin it, but it's not really, that crucial right now for the time frame that we have. So we'll remove those from the harness. That immediately will let us know that we don't have to worry about, like, hey, whoa, we're not going to have them constantly in our head. How many contestants are part of the Clean Wire Challenge? There's 8 contestants in the Clean Wire Challenge, which is really cool. That is the Master Tech Clean Wire Challenge. It's happening a couple weeks from now. Pretty excited. Fro will be there. So we're pretty excited to hang out with Fro. It's always nice. The cool thing about the Clean Wire Challenge is, for those of the people that aren't in the Clean Wire Challenge, which there's obviously going to be a bunch, we have 9 systems and 8 competitors. That means that one lucky voter, because you're going to vote to see who wins when you're there, you drop a little ballot thingy. We're going to draw a winner for that 9th system. So someone at Master Tech Expo is going home with a brand new system. 2 amps, an amp and a DSP, whatever it turns out to be, we don't know yet, because, but we're gonna have an extra system and we're just gonna give it away. I love giving stuff away, as you guys know, so that'll be pretty cool. You excited, Fernando?
I'm super excited.
See, listen to him, he's super excited. All right, now the next thing that we've done is we have taken, it's right in front of me. We've taken the rear speaker wires that are on our new plug and we've taped them into their own little bundle, put a little heat shrink on the end so the tape doesn't come undone. And the reason why we've done that is because we're not going to be using them and we don't want to be tempted by their alluring purple and green colors to connect them to our purple and green wires that are on the back of the car. So like if I get distracted or something like that, and I'm just on autopilot, which a lot of the times when you're putting a radio in, you are on autopilot because like you've done hundreds and hundreds of them. So we're just going to get those out of the way. Watching one of your old vids yesterday and saw you use a DM608 with a passive crossover. Any reason why? Simple. Depending on... See, everyone thinks immediately that if you're using a DSP, that the DSP is going to control everything. It's a DSP, right? But that isn't the case. A DSP is just a preamp before an amplifier. Now, depending on what the customer decided to do for their system, in that case, I'm going to assume they had a 4-channel amplifier and they were doing front rear sub, could be a 5-channel amplifier. I don't know, don't remember. So that means that the system that they're adding is a front, a rear, and a sub. Now, if they go with a set of components up front, then that front output from the DM608 is going to go into that 4-channel amplifier, and that 4-channel amplifier is going to run front and rear. If they have components, that means that we got to put the passive crossovers in for those component speakers. That's why you do that. So just because you have a DSP does not necessarily mean that you're going to be going active. So keep that in mind. All right, so I'm going to set that like that. Let's do this. There's definitely no of that. All right, so that was the answer to that question. A lot of people ask that. It's like, oh my gosh, you have a DSP. Why would you? Because the customer didn't have the budget for going 6-channel amplifier or an 8-channel amplifier for that matter. So you can still use time alignment. You're still going to need a crossover. Still going to need all those things. You can still have an amazing sounding system. So it's pretty cool. All right. Alright, so trying to make sense of things on an Alpine plug can be difficult because they are a little different. They don't necessarily do things. What's up from New Mexico? They don't necessarily do things the way everyone else does things. So, for example, we have this yellow-blue wire here. This is emergency brake. Then we have an orange-white wire, which in every single other radio, that is illumination. Sorry, not on an Alpine. An Alpine, that is reverse. So, those are the kind of annoying things about an Alpine. So, they've changed it on some of the new ones. I think the new ones actually finally have a purple-white wire. This, of course, hasn't. So, looking at this old harness here, it's an Alpine we took out. That means green on this is our reverse wire. There again, some of these older pack harnesses, they didn't use the right wires either for some reason. And green ended up being reverse instead of purple-white. So we have to hook this green wire up to our orange-white wire. The purple-white on this isn't used for anything. And then the emergency brake on this was red-white. Right? Trying to keep it all straight. Working on a 2022 E53 AMG. Looking to get around fake engine. Ooh. Fake engine noise and ANC. Any advice? Oh, man, honestly, no. I don't have any advice on that one. There's a Facebook group I belong to called Where's All the Mics? And that's the first place I start. But, yeah. That might be something you can program out, though. I mean, I know on forums, I'm sure there's forums of guys that have figured out how to do it. But we do it the same way everyone else does. We have to dig through the internet and try to figure out what the heck is going on. Hey, Dean, I won the Sony XAV radio during the Christmas giveaway, but there were no manuals in the box. Do you need to print them offline? Yeah. Definitely go to Sony and you can print all the manuals there. That's kind of strange. I never looked in the box, so I don't know. But yeah, most manufacturers just give you a quick start guide now, and they don't actually give you manuals. So it's kind of like, oh, this sucks. Too much.
Yeah.
Too much?
Yeah.
It's too hard to do?
Too hard to read.
Too much reading?
Too much reading, you gotta throw it away.
Yeah. It's toilet paper.
They don't want to waste it.
Well, she's getting excited back there. Alright, so we capped off the two wires that we're not going to be using for this. What I'm trying to do is get the harness a little bit more straightened out. So we're going through it right now to get it to that point. I like to put the speaker wires in their own bundle. The reason for that is if I'm ever going to be adding an amplifier or anything along those lines, like a 4-channel amp, I don't have to deal with the rest of the harness, cutting it apart and removing tape and stuff like that. So it just makes more sense to put those off on their own so that I don't have to deal with it. As far as like remote turn and stuff like that, I'm going to add in pigtails to the existing harness so that I'll have those. The idea is that I want to build this harness so I don't have to take it apart ever again. You didn't open the box. It was obviously open and someone had mounted the brackets to the screen. I thought that was you. That is weird. No, so the box, there again, we didn't open the box. The box came from Sony, specifically Jared, who works at Sony. So I don't know. They sent it to us and we sent it back out. It could have been something that they put in one of their displays. Could have been something from CES. Could have been anything for all we know. They just were like, yeah, hey, we're gonna send you this. And we're like, awesome.
mean, it's a free radio.
As Fernando said, it's a free radio. Yeah.
You know?
It's pretty awesome radio. Yeah. But no, we never even opened it. Probably should have. I'm sorry. All right, so we have our harness all spiffied up here. We have everything directed to where we want it to be. Alpine does not have illumination, so this, even though this has an orange white wire on it, we will not be hooking that up to the orange white wire, so that means we want to get rid of it. When in doubt, build it out. Yep. We are going to cap that off. There you go, we have these little 22 gauge butt connectors that we get from Amp Global. Metro has them, you can buy them from either one. So now that's out of the way because we don't want to accidentally make the mistake there on an autopilot, grabbing this orange white wire and hooking it up to there. That would stink. Okay, no, it's all good, man. All right, give me 1 second, I gotta cut some wires. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so what we've cut off is little 6-inch pieces of black, red, blue, and orange. Yellow. And these are yeah. Anyways, they're going to connect to their corresponding colors here in the harness. And the reason we do that is so we have pigtails. It's just something we do on all of these, whether we're going to need it or not. In most cases, we don't. But every now and then, it's like, oh, thank God, we put a red wire on there and a ground. Maybe they're going to add a backup camera. Maybe they're going to add a radar detector. Maybe they're going to add a dash cam or something like that. Maybe we forgot to add in an amplified antenna. So, boy, we got a dog out back now, too? It's freaking awesome. What kind of wire is that and what gauge? So this is remote turn-on wire, or they call it primary wire. And we get it, it's just regular primary wire that you can, we buy Stinger primary wire. I like their primary wire. It's a little bit thicker. Oh, my soldering iron's not on. That sucks. It's a little bit thicker. I believe it's 18 gauge. Honestly don't know. Alright, somewhere on here is the micro bypass. There it is. Micro bypass. 18 gauge. Yeah, I believe it's 18 gauge. Same stuff we use for all our speaker wires. When we twist wires together to make. We just have, a big spool of wire over there. Random question. How many young kids are coming through as new installers in the industry these days? That's a good question. That would be a good question for the Installers Institute over in Daytona, because that's kind of their thing. We're hoping to go there at some point, but no, honestly, I don't know. It's funny because the Rookie of the Year went to Taco, which is an awesome dude, but he's an older guy. It's just, he's new to the profession. He had a job, he didn't like it, he got into 12 volt, he loves it, and he got Rookie of the Year. Normally that award goes to somebody that's younger, and there was a couple young people that were running that was pretty cool, but he was, he won, which is, deserved. He's a pretty awesome guy, so I voted for him. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. Stinger wire twisted together a little nicer. It is. Yeah, I agree. During COVID, we were using anyone's wire we could get our hands on because wire was like next to impossible to find. So we tried some other brands and it was just like, I like the Stinger better. Because it's a little thicker. Alright, so we got that orange-white wire. That orange-white wire needs to hook up to this green wire on this harness, so we don't forget to do that. For those of you just tuning in, we're doing a quick radio replacement in a Jeep, and we're building out the harness. And It's an Alpine, and Alpine uses their orange-white as reverse instead of illumination. They don't actually have an illumination. They use a photo sensor in the radio to dim when it gets dark out. Drove me crazy personally, but do you make your primary wire is OFC? It doesn't matter. All our primary wire is OFC. Yes, it does matter. Because at the end of the day, you know, we are, even though we're using it for speaker a lot of the times, it is getting used for voltage as well. And it still corrodes and turns into crap. I mean, yeah, it's mainly the fact that it just corrodes and turns into crap. And it's, you know, but there are some car manufacturers that are using aluminum wire. Toyota's using aluminum speaker wire now in their cars. You can tell because it's a little thicker than you would think, and it's covered in a light purple with a stripe. So if you're ever working on a car and you see that, don't try to solder to it. It's just a waste of time. Put a connector on it, call it a day if you're going to use it. So on my bench here, I have two different sizes of heat shrink. I have the small 1/8 inch, and then I have the 3/16. So when I'm doing two wires like this, where we twisted the extra wire in, we use the 3/16, and then anything else we just use an 1/8 to cover. And then I just have little troughs of pre-cut pieces, little things like this. These are actually little containers that some tape come in. So that's pretty cool. All right, let that cool off a little bit. All right, so Alpine does this little thing, which is a is their power wire, and it has a fuse holder in it. So we always try to, you know, got to retain that. So unlike everyone else's, where I can just cut it nice and flush, and it's always going to have this little pigtail arm that sticks out for that fuse holder, because, you know, you don't want to cut off a fuse holder. That would be silly. Sorry, this guy in here. All right, this. The yellow blue on the Alpine is the emergency brake wire. If you're trying to bypass it, the Pioneer uses the exact same bypass. We get ours from microbypass.com, I think. And so the green wire, it's a lot of green wires going on here if you haven't noticed. That's why I like to separate the speaker wires out from everything else, just so that I don't have to worry about going to, I get that left positive speaker wire hooked up to the wrong thing. Ooh, that's gonna suck. So that's one of the other reasons why I like just moving the speaker wires out to themselves. It's always fun. It's always fun. You all right in there, Fernando? He didn't answer back. It'd be terrible. Nothing sucks worse than forgetting to put the shrink wrap on a wire. Oh, God, that's the worst. What's your favorite under-seat sub? You know, right now, the Kicker Comp RT or the Kicker L7T, you know, the Kicker shell mount subs. We do a lot of work with those. Price-wise, they're pretty amazing. Focal makes the Flax shallow mount driver. That's a pretty awesome. I don't think awesome describes it. Woofer. Not real budget orientated. And then you have Sound Mobile? Sound Mobile? Sound Mobility. Which one is it? The speaker, the shallow speaker guys?
Automobility?
Is it Automobility? Automobile. Automobile.
Automobile, yes. See?
Yeah, Automobile.
Canadian guy.
What time do you guys work till on Saturday? So we go until 6 here, and then we start at 6 we start the live show. So at 6 we start the live show. So right now it's 5 o'clock. So we're trying desperately hard to get this thing done because we got to get it out of here by 5:30 to give us enough time to set up the Saturday show. What 3-inch speaker can replace the Burmeister? Oof. Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, if we're just trying to replace the Burmeister, I would have to. Is it a 2-ohm driver? Is it a 4-ohm driver? There are a couple companies that make a plug and play for that. So you have Focal makes a plug and play for that. Match from Audio Tech Fisher makes a plug and play for that. So those two are probably where I would start if it's a Mercedes-Benz. If it's a Porsche, that's just going to be a standard German-sized speaker. Morel. And those other two companies also make speakers for those. But so does Ground Zero. So give those a look-see. Have you ever heard of critical mass speakers? Yes. Have I ever seen them? No. What do you think? Yeah, honestly, I haven't looked into them. I know what you're talking about, but it's like one of those things I read a lot, so it's one of those things in passing that I've heard of them, but other than that, I don't know anything about them. All right, so we have the power wire connected. It gives me this weird loopy thing here.
Did you add
What did I add?
No, it has a backup camera, but the wires are attached to the
Okay.
to the reverse side, so it's crazy.
Yeah, I added in all the stuff that we normally would.
Perfect.
It's for you, baby, just for you.
Perfect.
All right, so what I like to do is take and loop this silly Alpine fuse holder thingy out. And now that I've done that, I'll tape that up. It's a bit excessive, but hey, why not, right? Alpine jack. This is the ILX 650 W650 that we're putting in. Just wanted to thank you guys for both the Jetta videos on the amp rack. That's how I got to hook. Oh, thank you very much. Glad you liked it. We try. Okay, so here's the secret right here. So here's where all those connections are made. So this is all the little solder points. These are little things we capped off. We have exterior attested tape coming from both directions. Here's the thing. Do not wire up. Do not come from here and go up to the harness. You always go away from the harness towards a central location. That way, if I ever need to do service here, I'm not unwrapping it from this end. That's dumb. You waste tape. So all of these legs have all led inward. Now I'm going to take a different type of tape. In this case, I'm going to take some interior attested tape, and I'm going to cover up this little bundle of joy that I have right here. The reason why I switch tapes is because that way I know, and I've created the break on purpose, so if I ever need to service this, all I have to pull off is this little piece of tape right here. I don't have to dig into my harness, and I don't have to go looking for where the heck did I put that, because it's right here in this break point that I've created. And you can use any type of tape you want. You don't have to use Tessa, you don't even have to use tape if you don't want to. I mean, that's entirely up to you. But so now this harness looks all complete, but I can look at it and I know right here is where all my soldering points are. You can do it in the side. Anytime you solder into something or anything like that, where you're going to make some kind of connection, that way you don't have to go looking for it. It's right there. It's easy to find. Life is great. That's a great idea, using 2 types of tape. I know, right? It is. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those things that really, it was one of those duh moments, because a lot of the stuff is just duh moments. I mean, we do this a ton of this. This is all we do day in, day out, and you just get into these routines, and every now and then something that you've been doing is obvious. You're like, holy crap, why do I do it this way? And it's like, oh, that's why. But yeah, we got a bunch of little nuggets like that we teach when we do our classes. We'll be doing one for those of you guys in Canada. I'll be up in Canada at the CMA the end of March. I'll be teaching my modern wire techniques class out there, thanks to Automob or Automobility, the rep firm distributor guys out there are bringing me out there to do a couple classes, and one of them gets to be those. That's going to be part of the support for that is Rockford. Rockford sent me the amps, so I get to make an amp rack to take to Canada. It's going to be fun. It's always fun. And this is why you got Trusted Tech. I mean, I hope it's more than just tape, but I'll take it. Learn something new every day. Try to, man. You got to. Whether it be car audio related or just in general, I love learning new stuff. All right, turn it down. There you go, killer. Wait, didn't realize we were still live? Yeah, that's okay. Tonight, Mary Lou's going to be on the show. She's going to be on the show having fun with us. So make sure to tune in tonight. 6 o'clock, we'll be live on YouTube. We're going to drag Mary Lou out because she was silly enough to drive all the way over here. And I hate just having her sit off screen. It's no fun for us. Also, we're going to have Brian Schmidt. Him and the boys are working at Master Tech Expo right now, getting ready for the show. We're at Mobile Solutions, getting ready for Master Tech Expo. And they're going to come on live and show us what they got going on in the background. That's the plan anyways. I don't know when. It's going to be breaking news type stuff. Consider you guys are the OGs for clean wire installs. How long ago was it did you really start laying out those wires? The reality is it's something I've always done, but thanks to the advent of the internet and pictures and all that other fun stuff, it's one of those things where you kind of just do something and you just do it to do it, and it's kind of how it's always been done, but thanks to the internet, it's just one of those things now that everyone gets to see. A lot of the stuff is like that. I mean, you could go back and look at some of my early stuff, and it's all just, I hate not organization. I don't know. It's just, I like lines. I like straight things. I like, but definitely OG stuff. Yeah. Yeah, my installers hated me. So I was the fabricator, so they just hated that. Boring life, guessing too much stuff going on. But Haley just keeps making excuses on the boring life. So one of my goals this week is we got a ton of video that's just ready to be edited. Like, we haven't stopped filming. She just hasn't been editing. So one of my tasks for Sunday tomorrow is to get that set up so that she doesn't like it's set up through Dropbox. She doesn't like it. So I have to set up something specifically for her that she likes so that she can just get stuff done. So no, we haven't given up on it. We're still filming. It's really frustrating for me because it's like, you're going to do this or what? So I am blaming it on her. She's going to blame it on me. But no, boring life. I think in the next couple weeks we'll finally get back to that. and that'll be fun. So stay tuned. We'll definitely. Hi. Hey, could you see what those guys want at the door? All right, so anyways, I think I'm going to end it there. Here's the harness. Let's take a look at it real quick. We have our pigtails. So these are those extra wires we added in. So we have a remote. We have power, ground, accessory, all set if we need to add in. This has a backup camera that has to stay in the car. So we'll be able to plug those in. Micro bypass is sitting right here if we ever need to test it. Those wires that we didn't use are right here. The speaker wires are in their own. It's all zip tied together, so it looks like a really clean little simple harness. And that's it. I know, a lot of work just to put in one little radio. Make sure you tune in at 6 o'clock. We'll talk more. We'll answer your questions. We'll have a gay old time. See you on Facebook or Instagram. We'll see you everywhere. YouTube. Tune in on YouTube. See you guys.